Hello and welcome back to the Overprepared DM YouTube actual play live. I need something that is much less wordy. Hi, it's good to see everybody. We're back. We got a little level up last time. That's exciting.
Yes.
So, as a little refresher, I'm Jen, or Jen is online. I am the host of the Overprepared DM, and I am here, the dungeon master of this game as well. And we're joined by, let's start with Concho.
I'm Concho Dreamer, whatever. I don't know why, slash, that's an @ I am the Blood Hunter Orc, and with this level up, I took the mobile feat, because that sounds terrifying.
Ooh, what does mobile do?
It makes me mobile.
Okay,
Does it give you the zoomies?
You know how Saul hasn't moved
I
once
get
yet in
my
this
speed
campaign?
increased by 10 feet.
We can never get another long rest again.
Nope.
That's really good. So now you're quick, speedy. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, cool, cool. We're also joined by Mandy.
Hi, I'm Mandy Redesigns. I play Emmy Glimmerbrook, a now level 4 Twilight Cleric, who literally everything just works out for, so I took the lucky feat.
Please, of course you did. Okay, I love
It just
that.
works out for me.
And the lovely Kale.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you actually changed your name
Yeah.
since we started. So
So
this is
yeah. So everyone, yes, I am now Aries to Fairies, so you can find me on socials under that name. So Aries like the zodiac, 2 like the number 2, and then Fairies like the actual accurate spelling of fairies. I am Ire, the Tabaxi sorcerer. I went with the Fey Touch feat with this level up. So that way, Ire could gain access not only to Hex, but to Misty Step to make up for their horrendous movement speed. Yay!
perfect. And of course the lovely Austin.
Hello, that's me, Austin, or nearly Squid or Squid. Your choice. Anyway, I play Granny. I am a Loxodon druid, and my feat I took is Resilient Constitution, because the Loxodon's AC is based on their Constitution, and Constitution's also good for casting, not getting interrupted. So
Wow.
I got that 17 AC now.
Jesus.
Damn.
Granny.
Get it, Granny.
Granny the tank.
Really? My gosh, that's so cool though. And
20
last,
by level 5.
certainly never least, Saya.
Hi, I'm Saya. I play Kanna Rhino, a rogue. And I leveled up as well. Wow. And I took a new feat, but I'm not going to tell you which one.
Ooh.
Secrets,
The rogue
just like a
style.
rogue.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I RP in IRL, okay?
That's valid. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, our lovely adventurers, they left our legally distinct Stardew Valley bar. And followed along a goat that they had met the episode prior. And when they got to the goat's home, it turns out it was taken over by a fey creature, which was like a red cap mixed with an additional fey creature, making him extra strong. And all of these townsfolk were just turned into animals. Basically, anyone who was passing through this river walk area was just turned into an animal, and some of the party was even turned into animals for most of the fight. It was a nail-biting experience, but it was also really cool to see, have an opportunity for other people to shine, where other people could have just squashed that guy real quick. So that was cool. It was fun. We almost lost Soul to suffocation because his lungs got petrified inside of his body. Concho totally remembered that. And
1000%.
and upon saving the wizard, they found a very tall, gorgeous, bald Goliath who was 7 feet tall, and he had a goatskin robe, and he gave them the potion of forced polymorph. And it also gave Kanna a book to learn about transmutation spells. And before we end the recap, it is also good to note that the party is suspicious. They've learned a lot about the town and about these miracle workers that are moving towards Vistin. They're on their way to Nearon. Sorry, they're in Nearon. They're on their way to Vistin and are learning about these miracle types, whether it be bringing animals and people back from the dead, whether it be keeping people young. It's very, very weird. And we got that sus attitude happening. But we ended last session on the group talking to this tall Goliath man, and he was thanking them for helping him, and they were like, we have so many questions. Was that Redcap your daughter? Because your note said, bring me to my daughter. Like, we have so many questions. He invited you guys inside, and he said, allow me to answer your questions. So let's, as you guys enter into the home, it's a smaller, like, square, sort of simpler house. It's made of wood, but you could tell that most of his money and most of his time goes into the observation tower, which is much taller, made of nice metal and all sorts of stuff. His home is very plain, having lots of animal skin rugs around in the entryway, in the living room. There's a couple lamps and things like that around. The kitchen is open to the living room, so it's all sort of just in a square. There's a ceiling fan that is somehow moving. It's not, ceiling fans aren't things that you guys have really seen before, or that people really have. So it's like you hear the machine inside of it moving, and you feel the nice breeze that it's providing you, as well as underneath the ceiling fan there are several like wooden couches that have like stuffed cushions in them, very like handmade style. There's candles around, there's lamps around that are casting magical lights, and the place isn't drab or dirty, it's just simple. He takes you in, and he's standing so tall that his head is crooked towards the ceiling, and he's sort of hunched over a little bit. He's too tall for his own home. He looks, and he like sort of brings out the robe to make it go behind him. He's facing the party, and he's like, "Please take a seat. Would you guys like any tea?"
Sure. What kind are you offering? And Granny will immediately take a seat.
Okay.
She was already going to take a seat.
Yeah, feel free to like paint a picture. Like, what couch does she sit on? Are there more than one couch? Like, did you take a bean bag? You know, like, where did Granny
I mean, if
sit?
there's a recliner.
Okay. There's a rocking chair. There we go.
Okay, perfect. It doesn't matter if it looks like it's the one he would use. She's in it.
Perfect. Next to it is sort of like a basket of knitting needles and yarn and things like that. It almost feels as if this is like the perfect seat for you.
She's like reflexively like reaching down to them, and then it's like, oh, these aren't mine.
As you reach down to them, though, you do kind of touch them with your fingertips, and they're like exceptionally soft. They're like really plush yarn. And the Goliath goes to the kitchen, which is in the same room, and he looks at his tea cabinet. You see he opens like a cabinet above the sink, or at least a hole where water goes, because it's not quite sink-ish. He opens the cabinets, and he has a red box and a green box, and he says, I have spicy or mint.
I think I'd like to try the spicy.
Sure. So he sort of takes down the red box and begins a kettle on a fire while you guys are all standing. Where are we sitting? What are we doing? Well, this
Kanna's definitely just standing, like kind of standing nearby, but like still kind of close to the door.
Okay. So in your mind's eye, what does this house look like, and where are you like placed in it? Like, how close to the door are you? Are you in the living room, or did you go somewhere else? We're
I'm
creating this
definitely
home
like
together.
totally. So I remember last time when we had gone into the tower, it was kind of like you said, like squarish, but like kind of like in like a round tower.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how I envisioned it was like an octagon almost.
Okay.
And then there was like a staircase that wrapped up when we went up to fight the red cap.
That's the
so
observation tower that's outside.
Yeah, we're in the house next to
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no staircase in the house? Am I
Nope, just a
imagining it?
one-story little home.
Okay. I guess I'm probably near where all the furniture is.
Okay,
But I kind of just like haven't taken a seat. I'm kind of just like
sure.
I'm 5'3". I'm just kind of standing there,
Standing behind the couch. That
Stand
is
behind the
sort of
couch.
facing all of each other. It's very like socialite setup, where like there's no entertainment. It's just couches all sitting facing each other. Great.
I think Emmy's still a little sauced because I rolled a con save and got a 9. So I think she's probably just kind of walking around,
yeah.
just kind of like looking at little knickknacks.
Okay.
Because, but just not really focusing on anything either, just kind of there.
Yeah,
Just-
there's a
just
small
looking around.
fireplace that sort of is like the center of this like socialite setup for couches. And on the fireplace, there's essentially like the Russian stacking dolls, but they are various, I'd say what this world's zodiac are. So it's celestial creatures that are sort of stacked together.
Now I'm curious what zodiac sign Emmy would be.
Of course,
Rising.
of course.
Now I need to figure that out.
And then, like, on the walls, there's, like, some, like, floating shelves, but they're literally floating. They sort of, like, bob up and down, and they have...
And Emmy's just like,
Yeah, they've got, like, a couple books on them. There's, like, a clock. There's, like, one of those birds that dips into water, and then comes
Oh
back
my
up.
gosh.
Yeah,
Cute.
so little knickknacks that you were looking at around the space.
Forgot you and Soul had yardsticks when you left the Stardew Tavern.
Yep.
I'm still rocking a cowboy hat, a pink cowgirl hat. Like, yep.
Oighear, where are you at? What are you doing?
So Ira's like definitely gonna be also interested in the knickknacks and stuff too, but if we're talking about one of those little water dip birds, just for my own little ADHD brain, Ira is going to be fascinated by the water dip bird and just like watching it dip and then like just slowly getting a bigger and bigger smile each time it dips. Sitting there unfazed, just the bird. Only bird.
I love
Only
it.
bird.
So you're standing sort of around Emmy. Emmy, your path is now blocked sort of by Oighear in front of one of the shelves. So Granny's sitting. Soul, where'd you go?
I probably found one of those. It's not like a dresser, but you like put it in a living room and it's like hip height and you like can put
Yes.
stuff and whatnot.
A little side table thing,
Probably-
but it's like larger.
Yeah.
Than that. Yeah.
He's still in his werewolf form because I'm not gonna waste that time. And then he's gonna like do the like kind of sit but lean on it and then get back to just drinking because when he ripped his skin off to transform, it kind of sobered him up. So now
said,
he's just
"Ow."
Then now he's just leaning up against this little dresser and just going back to drinking.
Have you picked up your pants? Have one of us picked
was
up your pants?
just gonna
Yeah,
ask.
they're like
I was
over my
just saying,
shoulder.
I
Or
feel
maybe
like
they're,
you
like, on
didn't.
my
I would
arm.
have. The
Yeah.
pants are collected somewhere.
He's just swinging out. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
totally. Great. So the Goliath sort of, you hear the kettle begin to whistle as you guys are sort of engaged in your own solo vibes, and he pours this tea that has like a reddish tint, but it smells like cinnamon in the entire home. It smells so good. He brings this very, very large-handed man brings a very small glass in a small teacup and places it on a small little side table next to Granny. And he goes, he stands up and sort of like presses his clothes down. And he like rubs his eyebrow. However, he doesn't have eyebrows. He rubs where his brow is. And he sort of like rubs it a little bit. He's like, oh, I've still got a headache from that. Takes a large sigh. You see his shoulders sort of like physically depressing. Please, do tell me, I know you have questions, but what brings you here? Why are you passing through?
Do we know this guy's name? Okay.
We know Livious wrote the note.
That's true.
That's our only go on
Indicator.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have a bit of a job that we're doing that's taking us to Vistin. So we're passing through on our way.
Oh.
But things were a bit strange here. So, we're looking into things. We found a talking goat, and it was odd. So
It was
that's
hard
why
to
we're still
ignore.
here.
No, that's great. And I am very thankful. And he bows again. Like, the way he bowed to you outside was very deep, very respectful, and very slow. And he bows once again, and he's like, I cannot thank you enough. Who knows how many more villagers and how many more people passing through would have been turned. I'll be turning myself in for mispractice. And he sort of begins to shuffle his feet. Because I'm feeling shame over the practice that we've had.
You aren't the one that did it, though,
No.
right? It was the creature?
He snaps a little bit. But the power is responsible for the person who creates it.
Well, pardon me asking, how did this red cap get in possession of your estate, your grounds?
He begins to like rub his full forehead again while he takes like a sigh. He takes a big swallow and looks down, blinking a lot. Well, how many of you are familiar with fey creatures?
I know a little.
To a degree.
It is widely known, if you know anything of fey, that they are tricking types, tricksters. And I allowed
Not all
one
of them, but
into my home under the guise that they had that I did not see. A small child running here years ago in need of home and help. And I said, yes, foolishly.
years ago.
Yes, I consider them my daughter of sorts. They've been here for 10 years. But I had found a little hideout where they had been copying all of my notes and taking all of my research. And when I confronted them, it seems that they were not just copying, but reproducing my research. And they used it on me.
How long have you been a goat?
I do not know. I'm still sort of getting my memories back, and I feel like baaing at you. Is that what goats do? He says that while looking up at the air, sort of confused and rubbing his head.
Can I do a quick sniff of the air for more Fey stuff, especially since he mentioned that?
Mm-hmm. And while Soul is doing that, I just want to go over and ask, I guess, from where I am, so since you discovered this, hideout that the Fey had, have you gone back? Have you?
I destroyed it before coming back, but if you wanted to check, it's down the way, about a mile.
14.
Taking like a large... I almost said Wolverine, excuse me. A large werewolf sniff of the air. Just a deep inhale. You smell farm animals and sort of the remnants of the fight outside, but nothing additional.
Okay.
But you do smell lingering fey sort of magic and trickery around.
Are there any wolf skins? Since you mentioned animal skins all over the place.
Feel free to do a perception check. Sniffing around.
Oh, would this be sniffing or just with my eyes?
You can look with your eyes.
17.
Yeah, you, decide to take a little jaunt around the house, which is not very large. There's, like, cow skin, there's goat skin, there's sheep, there's a bear in the bedroom, and it's large. It fills up almost the entire room. You're not seeing any wolf skins, but that's you sort of having taken inventory of everything and noticing that there are not any.
Good.
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 And he sort of,
And-
continues rubbing his brow, and he's like, man, I really have a headache. Oh, are you having a
Yeah.
headache? And he looks towards Granny and Emmy.
I mean, like a little.
I feel like at my age, I sort of just have a lingering headache most of the time. So nothing out of the ordinary, but the tea, I'm sure, will help me some. Maybe you should have some as well.
Ah, yes.
Join me.
That's a good idea. I will do. And he turns, and the goat skin sort of like flops behind him as he begins to pour more tea. And comes to sit on one of the couches. There's like a 3-seater couch, and he sits right in the center, and like not man spreads, but definitely takes up a lot of space, just by his largeness. And he holds the very small teacup in his big hands, and he holds the little plate, which is basically just the size of his palm. He sits, he sort of like depresses into the couch. You could tell that this is not his normal spot that he normally sits in. And he shifts his shoulders from side to side. What other questions did you have? As he takes a deep sip of the cinnamon tea before taking a sigh.
This is rather off topic, but was this your house before it was made, or?
Yes. Yes, I made this with my wife.
Why wouldn't you make it large enough for you? If you made it? Just out of
Granny.
curiosity.
No, like I also wanted to know that question, but I didn't know how to ask.
He
Kanna's just gonna
giggles.
kind of face palm just a little bit.
He gives like a soft little side smile and like giggles through his nose where you can like hear him laughing internally. Just well, my wife was rather small, and I didn't want everything to be too big.
That makes like total sense.
That's very sweet, yeah.
And Emmy, you do actually understand that feeling entirely. Continues sipping the tea, and within like 3 sips, the tea is gone.
Mhm.
Totally. Pardon me for asking again. In the notes that you handed us, you said your name was Livious. Is that true?
Yes, I am Livious LeStrong.
Also, like, I don't want to be like a bummer, but I am curious. Where is your wife, or?
Well, I visit her down the river. Doesn't say much anymore.
Yeah, I'm not
So,
fully getting it. I'm a
anyway,
little lost. Clarification.
Emmy, don't worry about it. Livious,
You sure?
Emmy. Livious.
Yes.
So we have, I guess, I'll just kind of ask you, have you heard anything about these miracles that have come through?
No, only recently through the passerbys, where I was trying to get their attention, getting more and more mad by the day. People bringing
You
in,
know-
I've seen people carting in barrels of the dead and then walking out with them.
As like dead people,
I think.
dead animals. What?
I think.
When you say walking out with them,
They go in not moving and they come out moving.
Where do they go in moving?
I mean, I've seen not much, but there was a wife who had carted her, presumably dead, I think, husband, and they left together. And then I've seen people bring
Alive?
I think. It's not unheard of.
How
I mean, there
alive?
are resurrections and things if people bring the correct money. If any, I mean, people will do anything for money. People will do
But
anything
on such
for...
a large scale.
Well, there are resurrection, services. People exchanging diamonds for bringing loved ones back to life, and it depends. There are very powerful people who could do that, but I don't imagine that it would be a sideshow. But to get attention, I can definitely see people doing that.
Mm.
But for what? That's my question.
So mine.
well, from what we've heard, I guess this is now happening in Vistin where we're going, so it may be related to what we're doing, but
That is the town of Suni. And everyone can make a religion check.
How do you spell Sunni?
S-U-N-E.
It has a little tilde on top of it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Religion.
Religion.
9.
I got a 16.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
I also
3.
got a 16.
Okay. So 10 and over. Suni is the goddess of love and marriage, and most chapels and places where like weddings happen, you're ordained by someone who is following Suni. And it also involves like sex therapy and things like just anything that has to do with intimacy, romance, love. Like there's a lot that can be involved, human to human, but then also like person to nature or person to profession. So anything that provides passion in like an intimate way, they're probably following Suni.
I got a book at the library back in Maginvale of Lathander, and I have spent some time reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to... Is it too meta of me to know through that research that they're allied
No,
gods and goddesses?
no, that's not meta.
Okay.
Yeah, and Lathander is like the god of the sun, the god of reproduction, the god of harvest. So it would make sense that like love and sex and marriage and harvest and reproduction and stuff would go together. So yeah, no, that's not meta.
Okay. Connecting some dots here.
So that is the town of Suni. People go there to get married. Usually. I mean, it's a big town, so that's only one of the many things it does. They do. It does? They do. Oh, my head.
Well, we certainly don't want to take up all your time since you have just regained your form.
well, I still have some questions. I'm
sort of
happy
s-
to take up some more time.
He sort of chuckles a little bit while rubbing his head and gives you a side eye, like, to indicate, like, go on. What?
I have questions about the town itself.
This town, or Vistin?
This town.
Sure.
I was here quite some time ago. And I couldn't help but notice that everyone here looks very similar and the same as when I was here. The old woman and her husband that sit on their porch are still who they were. And I'm quite old now. and I would assume that these humans would have died, to be blunt. So it's a bit weird to me. I don't know what's going on if they were brought back and they don't seem to have any idea they've been alive for as long as they have. And I didn't want to push it and cause some sort of existential crisis in these people, but the town just seems odd in general, and I don't know if that has anything to do with you or
Well, if
these
you
people that
think-
come in.
If you think that they've been brought back to life, I would check the cemetery and see if their gravestones are there. That's what I would do, though.
Good idea.
I don't know directly, and I do apologize because I've been fighting turning into an animal. Then the brain of an animal is not as bright as my own, and I don't know. I haven't been able to recognize the features of a face for I don't know how long.
Ira's going to interject at this moment. And they're going to say this with their full chest. Ira would also like to point out, not only did they not know that they were this old, they were also very rude. And just sit there, hands on hip, just proud about the fact that those people were just mean. Unhelpful to the conversation, but they just want to add that in there because they were mean.
I do apologize for the people of my town. I've lived here for 20 some odd years, and Gus at the bar has always been incredibly kind.
Have anyone at that bar aged?
20 years?
Well, so they have aged.
They should. I don't see why they... Oh, because they haven't been with what you've been seeing. I don't know. Last time I saw them, before I was a goat, they looked wrinkly.
How old did Gus look when I saw them?
Like young.
Okay. So doesn't look...
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't look wrinkly. Like, if the description was wrinkly, you wouldn't agree with it.
I mean, I didn't... Maybe he got Botox. He looked pretty good when I was
Yeah,
there.
what?
What is Botox?
Like, the thing... Well, you know,
What is
listen,
Botox?
It's a
I've heard of
spell
it, I think. I've never
that
used it
certain
myself, of course.
celestials can bestow upon your face.
Interesting.
Insane.
It's expensive.
Interesting. I think that there is a power in aging. He sort of looks upon Granny while saying that. In like a polite way. He didn't
Very
say
well.
this
She kind of
old
brushes her
bitch.
hair back.
Yeah.
This called you old. I'm waiting for the clap back at Emmy for the dead wife joke.
I just
It wasn't supposed to
celestial.
be a joke. He said she doesn't talk often or much. People are coming back to life here. There's no guarantee she's dead.
He literally said she was.
No, he didn't.
No, he
What?
didn't.
Mm-mm.
No.
Did I imagine? He implied
Yes.
it though, right?
He
Yes,
implied it, yes.
but we
he
don't
didn't
know
say
for
it.
sure.
We don't
That's
know
true.
for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm still getting over the
My bad.
celestials. Bless you with it.
Yeah.
You just like go to an altar, just like a holy like winged needle comes in, just pokes you in the lip.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like a religious experience. You're
Looking
touched by an
beautiful.
angel, and then you're changed.
Amazing.
Yeah, bless your face definitely doesn't imply anything else.
He sort of sighs.
Listen, I got it done with my
With a lip
mom.
flip.
Okay, let's not make it creepy.
I said that above table. Okay.
Yeah.
He
Same.
sort of sighs and like sinks further into the chair, like officially slouching. I will be turning myself in by daybreak.
Hold, Livious. I don't think this is necessarily your fault. And who would you be turning yourself into anyway?
The authorities.
The authorities, like who? Like
The
in the
guardsmen
town?
of this town? Yes. Looks at you with a confused, like raised eyebrow.
Okay, but like if you turn yourself in, wouldn't that just be handing over your stuff that you have that's kind of dangerous to people that could potentially use it for like dangerous things?
That might not necessarily know what it is or how to use it, or could possibly put it into worse hands than a fae. Or what are. Forgive my sayings, this is a very small town. Who is really going to know anything about this?
Roll a persuasion check.
Guys, 15.
He sort of sits for a moment, nodding. I guess sometimes, as long as nobody was actually hurt, I could keep on doing my work and provide something to you. He sounds shaky in his words and is very, like, not fully agreeing with his own words, but hearing what you mean. Hearing that you're saying if it gets into the wrong hands again, it could be even worse than it was this time. He's hearing the between the lines. But he still is hesitant in saying, like, well, like, I guess.
Yeah, let's enable him. Yes.
Look.
Ire is going to turn in and be like, Ire was more hurt by fact that Ire's pinky promise was rejected by Potion. Or rather than Potion, sorry.
A pinky promise.
Oh. He made the pinky promise with the red cap and they broke it.
Oh.
I put Pinky up, they put Potion down, suddenly Ire is cat. Potion not problem. Just
You are a
outing.
cat.
Well, you're...
I actually like super loved being a duck also because like I got to fly.
That was cool.
And so like that was an experience, but I would like it to be like a choice instead of forced upon me, but like, you know, still flying was cool.
Ire was the cat, then made cat. Ire did not even get interesting option.
Look, Livious, all I'm really trying to say here is I think intent is important when discussing guilt. And I don't think you had any poor intentions. I think someone who just had a bad brain got their hands on it. And I think that perhaps we have helped you, maybe you could help us, and then in the future we could help you again, and, perhaps we could help each other,
Despite needing to grieve the loss of my daughter, and grieving the fact that they weren't a daughter at all, and grieving my lab and my years and years of work being wasted on town people.
Insight check?
Yeah.
What are you insight checking?
The fuck
Did
that
he have a
statement?
bigger plan?
You
Is
can do
there
an
a
insight
potential
check. You can do an insight check to sort of indicate how
like
you
a vibe?
might feel
Did it seem
about the vibe.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like did it
Was-
seem like he had like negative potential
Sure,
plans
do it insight. I
versus,
see what you're saying.
you know,
Do an
for the
insight
good of
check.
society?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a 17 for me.
Okay.
I think mine's a 16.
Would a passive
Yeah,
insight
16.
of 10 just be able to catch that? Or do I need to roll for it?
I mean, yeah, 10 and over. You sort of feel that this man is not setting up an evil plot.
Okay.
And is instead saying that his work has been wasted. In whatever way that means. It doesn't necessarily. He doesn't give evil vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he had a
He's not
bigger
sitting here
plan
like
that was
Mojo Jojo on top of the tower. Like, no,
Got it.
he's not.
got it. Just feels like it was
He's
a
just
waste.
a scientist, y'all.
Yeah, he's a good scientist. They do
Scientist,
exist.
mad scientist.
Yeah, he's not.
That's
he
a
doesn't-
thin
he-
line.
He's not giving mad
That doesn't
scientist
necessarily
vibes.
mean bad.
vibes. And he continues just like my work wasted on people of the town, and I just have a lot to process, and I would love to help. I just don't know that I can help immediately, to my best of my ability.
Take your time. You just became a human again.
Out of curiosity, was your wife also a scientist, and did they work with you, or?
No, she was a farmer from this town, and I was passing through with my research, and you can see like his demeanor is immediately shifting. He's like kind of smiling a little bit, and he's breathing
Aww.
softer, and she was so magical and part of the community, and just he sighs, and she was wonderful, and I decided to stay here to be with her. But no, she was not a scientist. She ran a small farm with crops, and she'd change them every season and give people free vegetables, and she always made sure to give people gifts. I mean, it's like twice a week even. Like,
Okay. above table, I'm starting to get where this is finally going.
Did she write a letter to a long lost grandchild that they could inherit this farm someday? And
Oh my god.
turns out that the farm was indeed her grandparents, and she was taking it over. Having come from the larger cities, it's an interesting shift.
I've heard of someone like this that worked for ye old Jojo Cola.
Joja Cola.
I didn't plan for that. There's no Joja Cola. There's no Joja Cola. Oh my god.
Oh my god. We're gonna
Must have been
infect
really
our
special.
D&D campaign too, Squid.
No. No.
When the bee bag is really just
episode has
Joja
been
Mart.
brought to you by-
Concerned
Oh my
ape.
gosh. We segue that into our Stardew commercial period. Oh my god. Not
Yes,
an ad.
so-
Hashtag not an ad.
He discusses that she was a farmer, she owned a small farm, she changed her crops, she gave people lots of gifts. She was incredibly sweet.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Me too.
You said you go to speak with her and she doesn't talk much anymore. What does that
Nothing.
mean, if you don't mind me asking? It means something. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, though. But
It is a painful memory that I would not like to elaborate on.
okay. Well,
But we used to talk for hours every day. She would listen to me go on and on about my research, and I'd ask about her day, and she would tell me about her dives into that dragon cave. And then she would come back with the craziest things. Always providing things that I could research, and lots of minerals. She had so much knowledge about... He sort of just closes his eyes and, like, sits his head onto his shoulder, like, in memories.
When you say Dragon Cave, you mean the one that is about a mile opposite
Oh, yes.
of town?
Yes. He, like, pops his head back up. Yes.
Have
It's
you
a-
been there yourself?
Yes, it's an abandoned old dragon cave, and it goes deep. it's a good place for minerals, and a couple people would come through here and try to find diamonds before they would go and see the miracle people. But that was before. I'm not sure about these new miracle workers, but there was a resurrectionist in Vistin that required diamonds. They haven't been in service for a long time.
What happened to them?
I think they might have passed. People do age when not messing with the ways of the world.
And apparently not in this town either.
That I do not know. I need to adventure out and see for myself.
Good thing you are human again.
looks at his hands, like he sort of like opens his hands on his knees, still holding the teacup in his left hand.
You think you are going to keep the goat fur?
Well, yes.
Just out of curiosity.
Yes, it was made for me.
Enough said.
I can't help but notice this is only partially related. Are these your knitting supplies, or were these your wife's?
They were my wife's. You could use them if you'd like.
I couldn't.
No, definitely you could. They will sit there and gather dust. I am not nimble with my that.
Can I just like look at it and see what's special about it?
Sure.
Like if it's just really fine.
Yeah, do a perception check.
Are they magical knitting supplies?
I mean, I feel like they're probably
so.
like iridium quality
Oh yes.
They'll
yarn.
never break.
They're like the diamond pickaxe of Minecraft, but like diamond knitting needle.
It's a 18.
Okay. Because of that, you can roll an Arcana check.
Oh shit.
As you're looking into this sort of pile
I
of...
got a natural 20, but it's only a 21. But
Okay. As you're looking into this pile of yarn, like you see, it looks like handmade yarn, like hand spun. It's really plushy. Some of it's feathery. Some of it's really, really cushy. And then on the inside, you see sort of like a tinsel that's like wrapped around one of the spools. And as you look at that, you recognize that one of these is made of magic.
like made of?
Yeah,
or
since your Arcana check
has-
would let you know if it has magic in it or if it's made of magic, it would tell you. So you're
Okay.
you're like, oh, this is a magical thing. Whether it's completely magic or magic is spun into it, you're not sure, but it's made of magic.
I'll pick it up. Do you know about this one? I'm picking up some sort of magical aura off of this.
No,
Did you do anything? No?
I haven't done anything. I don't touch her stuff. It stays put.
Again, that just makes me feel bad.
No, I mean,
As she's like putting some into her bag.
I'm so sorry.
how many like things of yarn are you taking if there's 10 sitting there? And only one of them had the tinsel-y
it's really
sort of
nice,
magic-y
though.
one. It is very and it's all very different. Like,
Do any of these have any particular sentimental value to you over the others?
no.
I'll leave 5 there because I feel like it could still look like a cute little pile.
Yeah.
And not really mess with it. And I'll replace one with one of mine.
Okay.
Aw.
So you have 5 various types of yarn. Ire, did you have your hand raised?
Yeah. Can I do detect magic out of curiosity?
Please help me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will do that on the it's the spools that are in question, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granny's like
What?
hesitantly showing it to you, like terrified you're gonna take it and Play with it and ruin it.
Too much. Cat things, yes. You're like, are you detecting magic, or are you just going to go like?
Is that a ritual?
Yes.
Okay.
While
I'll hand it over
Ira
to you then.
Okay.
while Ira is casting detect magic, can I ask Livious about the book that he gave me?
What is your question about the book?
I just want to know if there's anything special that I should know about it, or if it is just a good read. Per se.
I would like to think my books that I've written are a good read, but it's
Oh,
just
you wrote it.
yeah, it's just my studies. It is
Beautiful.
It is what I have used to create the potion I provided you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
So, would I have to roll anything for that?
No, it's a
or-
ritual, so you just sorta,
Okay.
you just have to wait the 10 minets or whatever.
Okay.
So what do you do to
And-
cast a ritual then? If you, Granny hands you the spool of this tinselized yarn, what do you do with it?
So, for that, I will have like it in my hands, and I will again like kind of like have like the crackly ice sounds go about their fur, and they'll close their eyes, deeply inhale, and as they open them, their eyes will become an even stronger, like icy glacier blue. They will lose their irises, and their actual like irises will be. I'm sorry. Wait, actually, what's the dark part of the eye?
Pupil.
Pupil. Yeah.
Pupil. Okay, so they lose their pupils. Sorry, I went to art school, not science class. So they lose their pupils, and all of their iris just becomes one like massive like icy snowflake design, and then they just like intently just stare just to observe the actual like spool to see if they can see any spells or magic coming off of it.
Okay. The give me 2 seconds. Okay. Looking at things and stuff and things. And as you're looking through it, you recognize that this magic, it gives you the magic type, correct? That's what I was just looking up.
It does.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So it gives you
The school.
The school is transmutation magic, which is the same as the book that Kanna got. So this yarn has something to do with transmutation.
Okay. I will then turn to Granny and then like just almost like this, probably like just put their hands back out and declare that the spool has transmutation magic. You may have it back if you would like. Almost like very like matter of fact, like look at Grandma, I did it.
It's nice.
She'll reach out and take it back. Thank you. I guess I'll see what happens when I use it. I appreciate again you letting me take this. I understand that it's hard to lose a spouse, but
I'm happy that it is going to use and will be loved and utilized.
I
Versus
will
sitting and collecting
make something
dust.
for it.
And then
Well-
at the completion of this task, Ira will then just look back over at the bird. If the bird's still dropping, keep looking at the bird. Go.
It is continuing to drop.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing the bloop, 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 bloop. Well, have you drank any of that tea, Granny?
Yeah, once he drank some, she would have
Okay. So he
started
gets up.
drinking it.
He gets up. And
Little
he's like,
worried after the
No.
previous incident with the
I didn't want to
potions.
interrupt, but I wanted a perception check or like insight check when he was pouring it
Oh.
But I was like kind of just like I don't want to interrupt the narrative.
That's fair. That's fair. So he gets up and he like picks up his glass and he goes to Granny, seeing that she has drunk her tea, and he like offers his hand out to take your glass.
She'll hand it back as well. Her hand's also looking extremely large and ridiculous with these cups.
You're just holding like sharing little plates.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he grabs the plates and he sort of like walks to the kitchen. He runs a little bit of water, leaves them in the sink. Turning around in the kitchen, he like leans against the counter and looks at you all with his head tilted against the ceiling. Can I do anything else for you? I have to talk a lot with the people outside.
Oh, everybody's still outside. I forgot.
Yeah, you. The silence sort of
sure.
like fills the room for a second, and you just hear outside, "What the fuck?" Like just things like that outside. Like everyone's naked. It's a mess. Like there's just commotion outside. Like it's kind of comical. I have a lot of discussions to have outside, and apologies to give.
One last thing, Livious. Before we go, let's say perhaps we were to delve into this dragon cave. Is there anything we need to know? Anything that you could help us navigate it a little easier, or?
If you had climbing gear, it might be good.
Okay.
There are some parts that are straight drops, so flying. I know that's something people can do.
Is there anything you might need out of it if we do venture in?
Oh, what a great question. If you do come across any orange rock, and it's like white and red and orange, and it's like stripes. If you find any of that, I would love it. And I'll pay.
What is it?
It is the ingredient to my potion that was used on all of you,
Okay.
which I am still very sorry for. He goes back to like rubbing his head.
It technically wasn't you.
I created it, and it is my burden to bear.
Perhaps you could put it into some sort of a cabinet that only you could get into, or something like that.
I will definitely be building a lock, at least.
I will
Well,
hear this.
you are
and
master
turn-
disguise, so.
I will hear the man promising to make like a lock, and then just side eye. Holds out their pinky. Do you pinky promise you will?
He laughs. Do a persuasion check.
Okay, persuasion. Okay. Yeah. What's math? 14.
He chuckles a little and smiles genuinely and sort of walks your direction, pinky out, and grabs your pinky and gives it a little shake. And he says, "It's my first pinky promise of my life. I will hold it dearly, with a lock."
Ira will just like be like giddy and then just like hug their hand with a pinky out, just like pinky promise. Yay.
Now, can I get you anything on your out? Do you need food? Do you need anything? I have a little bit left. I don't know how long I've been a goat, and I don't know how long my food has been out, but I can provide you anything. If I can provide you anything, I will.
I'm okay.
I think
Thank
we're
you.
okay to get out of your hair.
Ha! Bald jokes.
Looking
I
up
see.
at his no hair.
I wish I knew prestidigitation so I could make it the dunce.
He sort of bows again very deeply, and he says, "I will progress with my day, and you all progress with your adventure, and I wish you the best. If I can help you in the future, I will. Keep in contact.
Is there any ways that... Yes, I was just about to ask. Is there any way we can contact you?
You can write letters." He sort of looks around and you see that he has like a little bit of parchment, sort of tucked away on one of the sides of his counters, and he pulls it out and, sort of scratches down his address and contact information, folds it up, hands it to Kanna, since you asked. Well, I'll be off. I will be outside. Feel free to sit here for as long as you want before going off. He officially walks outside through the back of his house. Outside, lots of commotion. People being like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like, you can just hear through the walls. People are not happy with him, but he is maintaining that same composure that he held the whole time. And what are you guys doing inside?
I think I've just been
Iris-
kind of
oh.
wandering around, probably heading towards wherever Concho was, like out of the main area.
Okay.
Iris still holding the pinky, just happy that they got their pinky promise fulfilled.
Soul, before Emmy joins you, you're sort of like looking around the house for these pelts. You enter the bedroom at one point and you see that he's got like a single bed and it's like ruffled up and utilized, and then on the other side of the room there's another bed and it's perfectly made. And there's the bear skin sort of in that flooring, but you sort of get like not overwhelming feeling, but like a sense of like he hasn't really gotten over the fact that his wife is gone, and he's keeping things around. And looking at the walls, you see like a lot of photos, painted pictures of him and his wife, and it's adorable. And there's like a photo of a chest height him with hair, and he's like holding on to a smaller gnome woman, and she's got this bright pink hair, and she's flexing along with him, but her arm is like a little stick, and he's like flexing, and she's like sitting on his arm. And then there's another picture of like basically them at the beach, like making a sand castle. Like you could tell that he was very, very happy.
Probably walking into here, because this is like a little offshoot by itself. Yeah,
like down a little
okay.
hallway.
Yeah. I would drop the werewolf, go back into regular form. Definitely look at the bed. Look just over my shoulder before making the bed. Making it as nice as possible. And once that's done, walking up to all of the photos, looking at them, and just kind of get lost in a memory as a small smile appears on my face before it quickly, slowly fades away as my shoulders drop a little bit and just turn around and just take in the room one last time before inhaling, slowly letting out the breath, and leaving the room.
And as you open the door, Emmy is right there.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god, why are you naked? Put on your pants.
Okay, I just got out of the wolf form. Okay?
Yeah, but like step number 1 is put on pants.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yep. Oh my god, how are you so quiet?
I'm like kind of dainty, okay? I don't know what to tell you.
Is everything okay out there?
Yeah, like I think it's fine. I don't know. Granny drank some tea that might have been expired. Like, I don't know. We also found some like thread and stuff. I haven't fully been paying attention. But everybody seems fine, and the guys outside now, because all those people are still out there that are also all naked. So like I guess it's not the weirdest thing that you were naked, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
yeah, like I'm totally fine.
Inside?
I don't know. I mean, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't, like everybody had follow-up questions, and I feel like I should have follow-up questions, but I'm kind of just going along with things, and I'm kind of bored. I don't know.
That's fair. You know, we have alcohol at least.
Yeah, that's true. But also, I don't know where we stay tonight because everybody's really concerned about the fact that people apparently haven't aged in the town. And so I don't know if we go back and we stay at the tavern or like, I feel like staying here would be weird. So I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we should stay here, but I think we'll be okay. I don't think the rest of the town knows that we're on to them if there is something weird going on.
I guess that's true. I don't know. I feel very over my head a little bit when it comes to like one, the job that we're doing, and then also this occurrence. Little out of my realm of normalcy, so I'm just kind of going with it.
With that, I am going to hold on, let me see. I have something really quick, sorry. I am going to tap Emmy like little where the hell did I put it? There it is. A little like reassuring tap on the shoulder. And just start walking back to the group and just say, well, I'm sure someone trained by the Scarlet Hammer can handle themselves. And then just go back into the room.
I'll just go with you.
Okay, so you guys all walk together. At this point, the Goliath had gone outside, and you guys all sort of get back together. Oighear, Kanna, Granny, Sol and Emmy enter the room.
No, he's gone to speak with all the people that are now people again.
Oh yeah, no, he's fully getting like chewed out right now.
Big time.
They might start punching him.
He's
I don't
7
know
foot
if I want to
tall.
get involved.
No, we don't.
No, I think
No.
it'll be okay.
At this point, is there a window nearby
Yes.
where we can see outside? Oighear is going to scream out to the crowd.
Let's say the
I was
window
gonna
is
scream out to
by
the
the kitchen, where like the
Mhm.
tea was being made. So you just walk over to the kitchen and like put your head
This-
out the window.
And Oighear's just going to be like, "You can't get angry. He pinky promised he would not do it next time."
Do a perception
fully-
check, please.
Perception. Okay, +4.
Jesus.
Don't worry, he
10.
can promise.
No one is looking at you.
Damn.
Like you look around and you're like, he pinky promised. You're like trying to make eye contact with someone outside, but no one is paying attention to you.
I would imagine this is close to where I am, right? Kind of, because that's where we were coming out of.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You guys are sort of. It's all the same, like 30 by 30 square ultimately.
I'm gonna take a deep breath, look down to Oighear, look out the window, and use the dad voice when you just kind of like they yell out to get everyone's attention. And I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna fully just do the hey.
You can do a perception check with advantage, Oighear.
Oh,
Since Sol yelled, that gives you the help action.
yeah.
Just
Okay,
holding
so
your
this
pinky out, like waiting for someone to answer you.
16.
You see one of the individuals who's like a guard of the town. They have like the clothing on that you saw when you came into the town. He looks at you and kind of chuckles, and then picks up like a mask and like puts it on, or like a helmet rather. Excuse me. You know, one person to pay attention to you.
Better than none.
Again, Oighear and all of their like optimism will be like, just turn to the group, just nod, and then give. We'll walk up to Sol, just give them a big hug for helping,
Oh, okay. Yep. Mm.
and then just be happy with it. Because like, and Oighear's hopelessly optimistic at this point because they feel like they're on like cloud nine. They helped everybody, so they're just like, score, helped friend out. Yeah.
So, I guess the biggest question is, what do we do now?
I mean, I can't lie. I am very interested in going to the cemetery and then also going to the dragon. It almost sounds like just a mine. But I'm curious if those people in the town were brought back from bodies in the cemetery. That's kind of concerning to me, but I'm not opposed to checking out the dragon stuff too.
Maybe we
this
should
dragon cave.
start with the cemetery and then see where that leads, because I don't know if we're prepared to just go down a cave without some more planning.
We haven't rested
True.
yet.
Well, what time? It's still like afternoon, right? Because I didn't realize we started drinking at like 8 in the morning.
You did
I
start
thought it was
drinking at
much
like 8
later.
in the morning.
I thought it was like midday or
Yeah, the
evening.
bar was busy when you
when
were
we
in
got
there.
there, because
so-
we traveled
We're
in the
busy.
morning or
That's
like early
true.
afternoon to there, so I thought it was later.
Yeah, no, it is not like 8 a.m. It was like, I'd say you got there around, what, if it was like 2 p.m. or something. And so now it's probably around like 6 or 7. Like the sun is beginning to like move to the way, to the point where the sky is changing color.
And a couple of you got messed up in that fight too, so. The. Well, do you need to rest? Honestly, I'm good to go.
I'd be okay to at least see the cemetery.
Yeah.
Okay, if we get into a fight.
Yeah, I've still got. Granny's got magic in her still, don't worry.
Oighear is going to like get all like, again on cloud 9, all like primed out, just like dust themselves off, like straighten everything out, and then walk next to Granny and just hold arm out, ready to head towards the cemetery with everybody.
You held your arm out for Granny.
Yes.
That's so cute.
My,
Put my arm out to hook with yours.
Also, this sounds like adorable, but we have to remember that Granny is probably not only taller but bigger than her. So it's very much like the taller person be like, I guess you're helping me walk, smaller person.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, so you guys head out? Is that the plan?
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Is there any alcohol in his kitchen? Sorry.
perception check.
Yeah.
You're like,
Can I give
oh,
the
wait.
help
Your
action?
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
turned
If
to
you both are
blind.
looking.
I'm gonna help too.
Okay. That's double advantage for Soul.
That's not a thing.
It is now.
That's not a thing.
For alcohol, it
It
is.
is.
For
How many?
alcohol,
That's
it is.
3? What is that?
Yeah, 3 die. Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, fuck me. Perception?
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, you looking through the cabinets, unabashedly, no shame, just like, oh, he said we could do anything. Let's just look around. You find a like a glass decanter of like a darker alcohol that smells old, which means smells good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll grab it, like use my finger to like ding 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 towards Emmy, and like start taking off the lid of my yardstick. And
Just refill your.
Yep.
Oh my
Just like,
goodness.
let's go.
I'll go
Just
snag a
straight.
teacup. I'll just go snag a little teacup
Okay.
and then just bring it over to Soul and
Take
be
a
like,
little sippy.
little sippy.
and if there's any left, just
Yeah.
Y'all are having your like.
Oh, you're
late
drunk
early
now.
And catch a moment.
I'm
We're on
6'8". I'm
vacation.
huge. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Are
fine.
you 6'8"? You are
Yeah,
tall.
6'8".
Water.
Yeah.
I'm literally over 1.5 feet shorter than you.
Upon tasting the alcohol, it tastes like a dark spiced rum, but it's really smooth. Like it's spicy. It's got that kick, but it's also like smooth. It was a very expensive and highly what is it, distilled? Is that the word? Alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's great. Hot. It's so good.
Oh, actually, you should roll a D100 to see if your character likes that alcohol type. If you had a sip of it.
Ooh.
I want to
I
roll
think
too.
that's so
Okay.
fun to do.
I'm into
It
it.
was.
Let the dice decide if you like it. With the
Rolling
fried
the new
fish
dice.
for Oighear.
Yeah. What was it, a 98? I was
You were
like,
like,
I
this is the greatest thing I've ever done in
love
my life.
it.
I rolled an
88.
18. I hate rum.
Okay, you hate rum. That's valid.
Yep. 34. It's mid.
It's not bad.
It'll do.
88's like,
Service.
it's not bad. Like, you might actually order it. It's not the greatest thing you've ever had in your life, but it's pretty good.
Soul gives me a spice rum guy.
Yeah,
though.
it does.
Like, spicy alcohol. I feel like, yeah.
Ironically, that's
Same,
very
but-
me.
drinker.
I love rum.
Mhm.
I love some rum.
Mm-mm.
Or Malibu, my bad.
That's so
Malibu
sweet,
at the
though.
bottle kind of guy.
So you guys have a little bit of rum. You dumped out this man's decanter of rum and are on your way. You guys leave the small little like farming area with the large observatory tower. And as you guys are walking out, there's a lot of people, like 50, 60 people that are all naked. Except like some people have picked up clothes off the floor.
A
Like
lot of
it's
naked
a lot of
people.
naked people. People who of all varying ages and skin types and races and just people who are all sort of again getting in that soup line essentially to chat with the Goliath man who turned them all not intentionally into animals. And he's sort of explaining the situation. Even with like a quick listen, passive perception of like 10 would hear that he's sort of saying the same thing to everybody over and over and over again. He's giving like a, this is what happened, I'm sorry it happened, here's 1,000 gold. Here's what happened, I'm sorry it happened, here's 1,000 gold.
How
So
much money this guy has?
We should got
catching
our 1,000 gold.
and he, what was that like? That's like $10,000 essentially. So he's just giving out $10,000 worth of money
Where
to
did he
people. As you guys are walking out, you pass that fence line and you look back and you don't see the observatory again. Very much like the way you were coming in. And you make your way back to town. It's about a mile walk. And as you come back into town, it's not much different than it was before. There are a few people who have walked along with you, not necessarily with you, but they were there and they've joined the town as well, sort of entering their homes. So it's a little more bustling, but not busy city vibes. The sky has sort of shifted to like a pink, indicating that tomorrow is probably going to be exceptionally hot. And the breeze is sort of dying down as well as humidity is beginning to set in from the river and the wind blowing in that water. The ground is dusty and things are sort of calm. It's nice. But in the center of this town, there is a small little water feature, like there was when you came in. It's small. It's definitely not as large as the Magic School's water feature, but or as extravagant. There's a small water feature that like turns on essentially as you guys are entering town, and it's very loud, but provides like a really nice white noise around everything, just sort of adding to the ambience. Which I realize I need to change our music to town.
Can I cup some of the water and drink it?
Yeah, so you like to walk over to the water feature, take a sip. It kind of tastes like sparkling water, like carbonated water. It's spicy water, staticky water. Like it's
Why?
It doesn't taste.
It's out of a fountain. Why?
It doesn't taste bad, but it's definitely alarming. And
Not the Perrier.
As we're walking to, as we're making our way closer to town, Kanna is going to kind of pull, she has like a black robe that was in her bag. She's going to put her robe over her to kind of like cover her as it's getting a little colder.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's going to put the hood up and then bring it really far
Forward
over her eyes.
Okay.
And so it kind of covers her face from a distance, like a Sith robe would almost like think Kylo Ren robe.
Yeah.
So not just basically to like really kind of cover herself.
Yeah.
Won't say anything about it. We'll just kind of do it as we're walking, just nonchalant. Put the robe over, and then we make our way in.
Okay.
Kanna, I hate that you do that. You're covering your beautiful eyes.
Perfect.
I'm cold.
Well, okay, but I just think you look better with it down, but I understand.
Thanks. No, let's keep walking.
I'm cold.
Granny, maybe you could knit her something.
I do have to knit some things, especially with this interesting yarn. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. I'm sort of afraid it's gonna turn into whatever I make.
That's terrifying. Has that happened to you before?
No, it just has transmutation magic, so I don't know if it's gonna like come to life as a I don't know.
Well, I did just get a book on transmutation magic. Perhaps I can take a look at it and share my findings with you.
That would be great, because I might want to make it something else if that's the case.
You don't want to make it a killer? A psychopath? A murderer?
I wasn't intending that, but I don't want to make a little stuffed creature for a child and it be like a little tiger and then it comes to life and mauls them in their sleep while they're cuddling it.
You can make us, and then there'd be like big us, and then there would be little us.
I don't know. The Salak or whatever that spell is.
Fire is gonna overhear this and be like, your idea for magical string is to make voodoo dolls of us? That
Well, they
surely will not
would've-
backfire.
There wouldn't be voodoo dolls. They would just be smaller. It would be kind of like, can you imagine like a little Kanna running around? That would be kind of funny. I don't know.
You know what? Actually, that's a good idea. Nix that. I could use it.
Oh
I
wait,
was
no,
just
I
going to
just made
consider
an
it.
evil plan. No, never mind.
I was gonna be like, you're not reassuring Iron in any way with anything you just said.
No, I like this plan now. You should make that, Granny.
It could be a little spy.
Oh, it could be a lot of things.
That's concerning. Or
I
what?
don't like how you said that.
I'm just using my imagination. What's wrong with you?
Well, hopefully we'll be able to determine a little bit more about it, but
I'll let
otherwise
you
I'll
know
do
when
my
I get to
usual.
this book.
Okie dokie.
As you guys are chatting and
Sorry.
drinking the spicy water, the man that you recognize as Edgar sort of walks through town. But looks very
Edgar.
different. Is also a very tall, like half orc, but has like a braid that's like a braided mohawk that's like ponytailed down at the base of his neck, wearing the same sort of suit that he was wearing before, and he sort of walks through town, just making a quick jaunt from left to right. I guess make a history check really quickly.
Right.
And that,
Edgar's the carriage driver.
but that's not Edgar. It's Edgar,
Mm-hmm.
right? That would, unless because Edgar hasn't come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
12.
12 as well.
5.
Also a 12.
2 minus 1 is 1.
Let's roll one.
Woo!
5 or more.
That's math.
You remember being told this morning that that Edgar's twin brother is going to be there at night to continue, and is there every night to take people from Nearon to Vistin. So while he looks like Edgar, it's probably Edgar versus Edgar.
Edgar.
Yeah, Edgar, yes.
Edgar. Not Edgar. And his father,
but
Edgar.
you see him sort of walk into town and then towards the other side of town, which quickly into your sight and out of your sight through buildings, assumedly towards like a horse carriage or something. But he does not like look at you all.
Well, if we're in a rush to get to Vistin, we could skip the cemetery and stuff, and go tonight. But otherwise, we could go tomorrow night.
I think we should go to this dragon cave.
I think so too.
I do admit I have a suspicion that the town people never aging perhaps has something to do with this cave. Well, honestly, maybe even the cemetery, but if we really want to know, I think we have to investigate.
Would I know what day the events were happening in Vistin that I read about? Like, is it the next day? Is it
The fashion
like,
show and
the fashion show, the BBB, and the reptile exhibit?
I forgot about the reptile exhibit.
Yeah.
So you read them as being in town, not necessarily like it's only a one-day event.
Okay.
They're like they're gonna be
They
in
seem
town
like they're
starting
happening-
tomorrow, but it's gonna be like
Okay.
from what your experience is when it comes to events, they're usually either one-night events or they're like there for a week,
Okay.
every night for like a week.
Okay. So it's like they have their, like, obviously the fashion show is multiple days. The
Yeah.
BBB has like a little slot where they're playing at the same
Mhm,
place
mhm.
every night.
Yeah,
Got it.
and then the
Got
reptile
it.
exhibit is happening the whole week, sort of vibe.
Okay.
Who was the
I mean-
BBB
Petting zoo.
again? I don't
The something
remember.
something brigade, the Blue Man Group.
It was
Yeah,
basically
I
the
think I
Blue Man
have it.
Group, but it was
Got
the
it.
Blue Bandit Brigade?
It was the something Bard Brigade. What was the first B? Darn it! I should have wrote it down.
The Baritone Bard Brigade.
There we go.
Baritone.
Baritone Bard Brigade. Thank you.
Notes. Only important notes.
Me and my improvised naming of things. I didn't even write that down.
I mean, like, I'm down to stay and do stuff, but like, it totally depends if you guys are like comfortable sleeping in this town or if it's something that we want to plan to hit on the way back. Because obviously, the route would go back. I just don't know if what we're doing is a rush, because before everybody acted like it was a rush, and now I don't know if it's a rush.
Well, I mean, they said it was a rush, but also we're like group number what? to
Right. It's also
go
been
do
like
this?
9 months or something, so.
So, I mean, I don't know. I want to be prepared for things, and if we're looking for dragon parts, I feel like going to a place that is related to dragons could be helpful to us in some way. Because I don't personally know that much about dragons.
So do we need to see if we can get like supplies for climbing?
It did sound like we might benefit from that.
Maybe we go check out the cemetery. We gather what we can there. And then if there's enough time afterwards, we go get our supplies and we start in the cave early. We get that done during the day because we're good at what we do. And then we leave town. Maybe get some sleep on the carriage and then boom, it all works out.
Ira is good with any of these plans, just so long we do not make voodoo dolls of ourselves.
Who came
We
up
can't
with
always
that idea?
guarantee that.
Ira's just going to like just glare at Soul, just like, what do you mean who? Who do you mean who? Who do you mean who?
Soul, make a Constitution saving throw. I'm
Oh,
curious how drunk
shit.
you are. Who else has
I
been
was like-
drinking?
Yep.
Constitution
I had like a little
saving
bit of
throw.
rum, but
No,
like
that's
just a little
fine.
bit.
Just a little. But if you're drinking out
Like a
of your
teacup.
tall glasses, I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw.
For the yardstick of
11.
rum.
13?
Okay.
11.
I'd say you guys have not like gained a level of exhaustion or anything, but you
Whoa.
do get disadvantage on all of your ability checks. Not attacks or magic or anything, but ability checks.
Yikers.
That's fair.
Drinking. That's fair.
Yep.
What did we decide on, by the way?
Oh,
I
we
think
threw
it's
you.
above
table
You're
for
not
the
in the
turn.
team anymore. We voted. You're out.
That is not what happened.
Honestly, I think I could still have a I'd be okay.
You're like, Kanna's great. No, they said.
I think Kanna's fine.
I believe it was a cemetery to check things out, and then gather supplies for
Morning
spelunking.
climb.
I have a rope, but that's like it. We need a little more than
I
that.
think I have
Rope will get
climbing
you
gear.
far.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me double check before I say I do.
I need improvised climbing gear. I don't know if your climbing gear will work for me. I weigh quite a bit.
I also don't know feather fall, so
I mean, I can turn into something and climb down if I need to.
I do have the ability to scale a wall.
Yeah. So climbing kit comes with enough for one person. You can set up the like spikes for everybody, but it doesn't have gloves or boots, tips, or harnesses for everybody. So
Okay.
you got it. Good for you.
I will say I used up the wolf for the day, so if we decided to try to go down there tonight and we ran into some bad stuff, I mean, that's just not an option. So if we wait till tomorrow, wake up bright and early, get some breakfast, go for a climb.
Yeah, I
You
think
saying you
tomorrow's
rely
probably
on
the
the
safer
phone?
bet.
I mean, it's pretty great.
I have some magic left, but I don't know what we're gonna find in here. I probably want to go in with all the candy I could. so to
You said
speak.
you were fine, Granny.
Fine to go to the cemetery.
Do we know where the cemetery is? Like, is it? We have no idea.
We didn't
Not
ask
that you
that.
have no
Oh.
idea.
Does
you just
anybody-
didn't ask. But you can do a perception check.
Oh no,
No.
I think
no.
Natural
7.
20.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wasting it
natural
on this
20.
perception check. 25.
To find something we could just ask somebody for.
Exactly.
11.
Wow.
13 plus.
Granny's like, there's a
2,
sign.
15.
Emmy
Ire-
can't read it.
Ire, what's your perception check?
Oh, that's my perception.
Yeah.
I guess my Ire's perception is higher than my perception. My brain. ADHD is a big old sufferer. 20, dirty 20.
Okay. So, everyone 10 and over. You see a sign that's basically like a "You are here" sort of thing. It's like a map of the town. Giving it a quick glance, you recognize that the town is largely like a grid. There's like squares of things. There's about 6 squares of things, and you guys are in the center, having walked through a couple homes and then made it to the center of the town. In the like top right, where you came in from, there's some homes, and then right behind it, there's like a walk path that leads to the dragon lair, but there's like a cemetery around that spot.
Now, when you say layer, do you mean like...
Oh, it's the X. Like I said, that it was like the X layer of a dragon that's been like gone, and
Okay.
it's
You know,
okay.
it
You're
just
allowed to be
implies
sus. You're
live-
allowed to be sus.
implies live dragon.
It does. It does. But dragons are not alive anymore right now.
Doesn't mean there can't be a lich
That's
dragon.
True. That's true.
Dracolich.
We are not ready for that.
We're level 4 now. I think we can take a Dracolich.
As you guys sort of walk through the town, I'm assuming you guys are headed straight to the cemetery. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun is still up. Sky is still pink. I would say it's like around 7:15, 7:30 as you guys are walking. People are headed to the bar. It seems to be the largest gathering place of people. There's been people there all day. And as you're walking through, you see Bill's goat farm again, and you see a couple other shops. You see like an alchemist shop, but it's closed. All the lights are off. There's like a closed sign. You see a clothing shop. as well, and it has some mannequins of like knitted goods, and then you see a couple other shops along the way as well as like a general goods store, a food, like a restaurant that's called the Boar, and a couple more homes. But these homes seem to be more like townhouses and apartments. A lot of people living in the same building, going in and out of like one single staircase. Sort of heading back to the beginning where you guys came in, where Edgar dropped you off. You make a left, or you make a right, excuse me. And outside of the fence of the actual town, you walk on like a really small, like circular pebble, but like meticulously put down walkway made of stone and pebbles, and you start to see and smell like the river that was behind you as it loops back through the town, because you guys are sort of in like a divot where the river is surrounding this town, and the pathway leads you up a small hill with a large tree at the top, and the tree is like old and oak and like hanging over, and as you're entering the area, we need to leave our peaceful village town, and we need to
Gold.
play some different music. And as you guys enter the smaller area, there's a couple like picketed signs that show you like where you're going. One of them says cemetery, one of them says Nearon, and then there's one that says like spring. And they're all pointing 3 different directions. So you can go to a hot spring, you can go to the cemetery, or you can go back to Nearon. As you make it to the sign, there is like a post with a light that's been busted out. So its darkness sort of begins to fill the area, but the sun is still up, so it's not too bad. But sort of stopping where you're at and like looking around, you sort of see like the beauty of the area and how like you went from being in more of a forest area to more of a flatland where you're at now. So this large tree in the distance is really like a beautiful sight, being like one of the only things on the horizon. And continuing to walk towards the cemetery. Anyone wanted to do anything? I don't want to talk or take anything away from anyone.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
You said the light was busted out on the on the signpost.
Yes.
I'm gonna do an investigation check to see if I can determine how it was broken.
Sure.
$21.
Yeah, you very quickly see some like feathers on the inside of the light, and also small old droplets of blood on the glass. You quickly recognize that a bird totally smacked into it and broke it.
Okay.
Well,
R.I.P. bird.
I won't really say anything about it. I just kind of like, Kanna will walk up and like kind of look at it for a second, and then just head to the cemetery, I suppose.
Yeah. So the cemetery like quickly falls into view as like a sort of iron picketed fence, and it has like a arching door, but it's really pretty. There's a lot of like overgrowth of grass and some vines, which is a little uncharacteristic for the rest of the town. You can tell that there's not really somebody who keeps this place, and it's overgrown and untouched, only to be touched when someone, I guess, needs to be buried. And as you're entering, it's almost like a greenhouse. There's a large, actual like funeral space and inside crypt at the end that says you're gonna hate me, it says stars do, and as you guys are walking through, you enter, it's sort of quiet, there's not much around, but between all of the grass are these headstones that are like really covered up with grass. But there's about 30 headstones here, varying sizes, and then the crypt on the back. And it's sort of small, it's like 15 by 20, like There doesn't seem to be anyone around, or any sort of gravekeeper or anything. And you kind of turn around and look past the fence, and you're sort of on the top of this large hill, looking over the town. You can see like the lights and the bustlingness in Nearon, the people sort of walking back as well from the river, heading into the town. You guys are just looking over everything.
Can I make if I can roll it back to just before we're making it to the cemetery, as like a Kanna thing, can I make a perception check?
For what?
I want to see if we're being followed.
Oh, sure. Of course you do.
Only a 12.
Okay. I mean, you look behind you, and you look to the sides, and you look in all the places that you would think to look, and you don't see anybody. And there is just like a general presence that you guys are kind of just alone in this overgrown, untouched cemetery.
And then follow-up perception check when we make it to the cemetery to see if anyone is there but not there.
Sure.
That is a 6.
Okay. What you're seeing is a lot of grass.
Fantastic.
And if anyone was laying in it, they are very stealthily hidden.
Oh boy.
And if anyone is in the crypt, they're not making any noise. So you don't see or hear anything.
Is the crypt open?
Yeah. It's like an archway that you can like
Okay.
enter, and it has like a switch essentially to like open like a back wall. But it's essentially like a gazebo otherwise.
Is there a staircase there? Does it go down into the earth?
If you go and look, yeah.
I would like to go look.
There is a staircase there, but it's not open.
Do we know, like, whose grave we're looking for? Did we ever get any names?
Granny was just gonna look
Yeah.
for familiar names because she
Okay.
doesn't remember people, but maybe seeing it would jog it enough. But seeing just one of them that should be dead, that is not, I think is enough confirmation, I guess.
So, Granny, you start looking at the headstones.
Yeah, just moving the grass kind of out of the way and trying to see when it said they died compared to
Yeah.
how long it's been after that. And
Sure, let's do a perception check.
this would have been a good one
Also-
for my nat 20 to be on. A nat 1
No!
for the more important time.
No.
That's a whole ass 6.
Okay. You're pushing through the grass and like the foliage, and you're seeing some names. You're seeing like Luann Spells, which is someone that you recognize, but their grave is untouched. You're looking at a couple others. You're seeing like people's graves for their animals, people's graves for their families. Like it's sort of just like a town cemetery, and no one that you like specifically recognize, and you're beginning to feel that you might have just forgotten their names at this point.
Yeah.
Are any
Little
of the graves disturbed at all?
You do a perception check.
I'm gonna say a little sniff in the air for undead.
Okay.
Wanna-
You do a. I think that's a perception check with advantage, right? With the
Yeah, but
undead.
I have
Which then
so
is
I have
straight roll.
disadvantage, so
You
that's
have
just a
so
straight
it's
roll.
regular then. Yeah. Okay.
That was almost a nat 1, and then it wasn't.
Let's go nat 1. Almost nat 1.
A filthy little dirty 20.
Okay, dirty
Ooh.
20.
I got a 7. I can just smell rum.
Yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Like you're
Smell your
smelling
breath.
around. You smell like grass, like that fresh cut grass scent, but it's not like fresh cut. It's just like foliage that's overgrown, and it smells really grassy and foliagey. And then you smell your own breath as well, and you're like, huh, all right, I think let's see. Kanna, you begin sort of like digging through the grass to see if any of the gravestones have been like covered by grass or anything like that. And in fact, you do see a cutout square, perfectly, rectangle rather, perfectly cut coffin-sized square with no coffin in it. under the name of, what was it? Hold on. Oh God. Under the name of Tegan. No last name because it has been etched out.
Is there any... You can't see anything, it's just completely gone. There's no, like, hint of a letter.
No, it seems like either a expecting coffin hole or a coffin is no longer there hole, but it's a 6-foot dug rectangle with no coffin in it.
Granny, does the name Tegan ring a bell to you?
Do a history check, Granny. What happened to those 20s?
Oh no.
God. That is a 3 total. Not 2.
So you recognize the name Tegan, like in general. You have known maybe 2 or 3 Tegans in your life. You can't recall if you had met one of them here in Nearon, but one of them you do know is a teacher, like a young school teacher.
Okay.
A teacher for young students.
Okay. I mean, I've known people. There was this one time I went out with a friend named Tegan, and we had just such a wild night, but they weren't from here, so it's not really relevant to this situation. There was a teacher that taught like younger children, but I don't remember if that was here or not. Sorry. Can I look in the dugout grave to see if it's like... Is it compacted at the bottom like there was. a coffin in it?
Do a
or
perception check. With advantage since Kanna already found the grave and has been looking at it.
Okay,
Could I
good.
use investigation?
Yeah, investigation or perception, whichever one you would like.
Say 13, not 13, 23
Oh.
for perception.
Okay. So, with Kanna and Granny sort of looking into the cutout grave, yes, you do see, like, it is compacted. There's almost like an exact shape that has been pressed into the earth for so long that is not there. And there's also not a grave, not a coffin there. But it has been used and it has had something in it in the past.
Well,
Suppose
certainly
that's the
been something
question.
taken out.
At this point, Aya is going to walk up to the grave if they can. Just in a conversation matter, in a conversation matter of being observant, will comment, how do you expect to meet your gods with such a shallow grave? No wonder it's gone. Back in my land, we meet the gods by burying the dead as close as underground as we can. And at this point, I won't get in too deep of it. Just Aya's just going to go off on a complete tangent describing that back in Tabaxi culture, that they like bury their dead in like huge tombs. They bury them super deep. Unhelpful information, but just because like Aya is one of those ones who likes to like talk, like regaling of home. Just as you guys are observing, you're just going to be hearing Aya being like, this is too shallow, no wonder it was dug out, like how could you guys do this back at home, this is why we don't have this problem, and it's just going on and on and on.
Well, it does look like they have some sort of a crypt, so there may be some that are deeper.
So hard to say if if whoever Tegan is was the original person in this grave, or if perhaps it is being reused. And if it's being reused, was it because there was somebody who was recently revived?
I mean,
Well, then it
maybe.
is. Aya feels bad for them. How are they supposed to rest in peace when they're not even deep enough to rest?
Perhaps we should go into
So
the crypt.
true. Granny's just like trying to be supportive, but also like, I don't know what's going on.
How far away is the crypt from us?
Like 15 feet.
The
entrance, at least.
Ire, at hearing Kanna's, I will say like kind of offhand a suggestion of just go see the crypt. You know what? Ire's gonna be like, you know what? I will, and then Ire's just gonna walk off to the crypt just to see how the state of the crypt is.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of walk towards the crypt, and it's like a gazebo, sort of like made of stone. There's like wrapped ivy around it, and you walk in, and it's like echoing with your footsteps for a moment. But right in the center, there's a large switch. It's like a large handle made of wood that you would drag from one side to the other. But you see the impression of stairs. So it could be assumed that the switch opens the stairs. With passive perception, at least.
But I have to roll a strength check to pull the switch.
You could try pulling the switch and find out.
Yes.
Strength check then.
Let's go -1. Don't hold me back now. Yeah.
Natural 20.
60.
Hey, it was a 5, so you got it. Very easily. You recognize that it has a little bit of a tug, but you pull through it, opening, and all of you are hearing at least like this machine whirring underground, like under your feet. And the stairs begin to one by one sort of cut themselves out into a spiral staircase underneath the gazebo. So it ends in this position where Ire, you are standing in a small circle with the switch, and then the stairs form around you. Making the center the spot to be in.
Ire is just gonna like almost like do like the almost like an angular like bend over, looking down at how deep the stairs goes, and be like, much better, and then just start to casually just like step down the steps.
Okay.
Wait, Ire, wait. Wait.
Boy.
Ire heads down the stairs.
Granny's like pushing herself up off the ground, like.
I'm like, no, get the cat. They're leaving.
Emmy, what are you doing?
I think Emmy's a little bit tipsy, and she's kind of just looking around, not necessarily at the graves, just kind of the general around there.
Okay, tell me
I
what's
don't
there.
know that she's looking for anything.
Yeah, tell me what's there.
So I just think there's a lot of, well, we said there was like a tree
Mm-hmm.
right in this area. So I just think there's a lot of, I'm picturing like the long grass that grows up thick, but then bends over.
Yes.
Kind of like over the fencing. And just kind of land, open space.
Yeah.
I think she's just kind of looking around to see if she stumbles upon anything, but doesn't fully know what she's looking for.
Sure.
So I don't think she's like intently
Well, let's do your
doing it.
perception check with disadvantage
Okay.
since you're tipsy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's not that bad. It's a 12.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
as you're looking around, you do in fact need to make a dexterity saving throw as you're walking around, sort of looking at everything. You walk over some grass and then begin to fall through that grass.
15.
You luckily catch yourself on the edge of a grave that has been cut out. It is not the same grave that Kanna and Granny are looking at. But as Ire is switching the switch and the stairs are going down, the machine whirring noises might have made sure that no one noticed you. We need perception checks from Kanna, Granny, and Soul, please.
What if my passive perception is 17?
The 17 passes, but what about Granny and Soul?
Oh, this isn't
Sorry,
for
girl. Ooh.
smell.
My roll's higher than my passive. 17.
Okay.
18.
Wow, yeah, all three of you very quickly, like over the machine whirring noises under your feet, hear Emmy just fall into the fucking grave.
Emmy?
But did you save your drink? Is it still...
With the 15, did it save? Maybe.
The
Pass
important
down,
thing.
drink up in the air, not spilled.
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean,
Emmy-
Granny's still trying to get up off the ground, but she'll move over there as quickly as she
How
can.
tall is Emmy?
How-
Emmy is 5 foot something.
Emmy's like, she's like 6 foot in her heels, like
And
6 foot
Are you
even.
wearing heels right now?
I have heeled boots,
Okay. So
a little
you
bit.
get-
So she's like 5'10"
It's
plus a
basically
couple inches.
like if you had your hair up or like you're wearing a hat, that's seen.
Yeah, my
over the
cowboy
grass.
hat is just showing.
So you were essentially covered by the grass then.
Mhm.
So Kanna, but everyone did see you fall in, so you're safe.
I'm okay. Kinda.
Are you?
Kinda. Like I'm not broken.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I'm a
walk
little
over to
stuck.
the grave,
Okay.
and I'll just kind of look down.
Move the grass aside a little bit.
Yeah, I'll just move the grass aside and just kind of look down.
Hey. I fell.
I think
Also,
if Soul
there's-
sees this, he's gonna stop Granny from going over and give them time.
Oh, okay. I'll stay here with you.
I think they need a moment to talk.
This is true. It has been a bit for their relationship.
I mean, there
Awkward.
probably are better moments than when one person's in a hole, but I don't know when we're gonna like, you know what I mean? Like, just take opportunities when they show up. So I don't know. Just
That's
yeah.
a good point.
Okay. Drink.
We're coming.
Oh.
Sure, I'll take a drink.
Okay.
Ire down below, taking the stairs down, so you guys can think about what you wanted to say. Taking the stairs down, Ire, there are sconces on a wall as you're going down, so it sort of like illuminates your spiral staircase. You recognize though, like through steps, that you're going about 2 stories down. It's a lot of steps. And these sconces are lighting the whole way. And the walls change from being made of like gravel to being made of brick to being made of really deep stone. Needing more support down below, they've made it with like stronger and stronger materials. But it's fun to see that gradient as you're walking down the spiral staircase, and you enter at the bottom of the stairs a crypt. It's small and not ominous as much as you would think it would be. It's nicely put together. There's a couple cobwebs around, but you enter through this archway that's made decoratively with these stones. And the floor is completely made of this deep stone, as well as the walls, and every like it's almost as if there's sections, and each section is divided by a half wall that comes outward, and there's a large sarcophagus in each of those sections, and there's 6 down here, leading you back about 60 feet in front of you, where there's a large mural painting of a dragon. And the dragon is on this painting like a blue, icy blue dragon. And it's blowing ice onto Prodior and is creating what is now Prodior and is creating those ice caverns. And it's an image that you've seen before because it's one of the more like prolific dragon history pieces of creating the ice cavern, essentially, that people froze all the dragons in. And in this area, there's a large chandelier that has a bunch of candles, but none of the candles are lit. The sconces on the wall, however, are lit. There's a long rug, like a decorative rug, that stretches from the stairs that you just exited to the very back of the room. So it's like a 60-foot long rolled rug.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Ire is going to walk up closer to the painting.
Okay.
Would I have to roll a history to see if I recognize it?
No, that's like common history knowledge.
Okay. So, Ira's going to be fascinated with the actual painting itself because it is a depiction of an ice dragon. So, of course, one track mind, ice wizard is obsessed with ice dragon blowing ice. But since I know about the painting, it's not going to be that much of a shock. More of it just like, oh, that's cool that they kind of have this down here. But kind of in a moment of realization of what we're still here to do, which is observing the graves and all that stuff. Would I have to roll a perception to see if anything is wrong with the crypts, like actual? Because I'm assuming it's like the ones like the thing, like almost like a container where if you shove the lid off,
Yeah, you move it to the side.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like that. You could do an investigation check if you'd like.
Okay. 15?
Okay. Yeah, you're looking at all of the sarcophagus like cases essentially, and you're looking at all of the plaques while you're looking at that, while you're walking around and seeing if anything's wrong, and you see all the names. Or what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Gnomish, and Primordial, but I also have Comprehend language.
Okay. All the language is written in Gnomish. And it's discussing like here lies so and so, and then another person here lies so and so, and it's not anyone of significant importance, but they are clearly rich enough to have their own space for their family. All of them have the same last name. None of them are open. Nothing seems to be out of place.
Okay.
In the graves.
Open the graves?
What? Who said that?
I don't know about Ira, but my suspicious ass would be too chicken. I'd be like, yeah, no, girl. If
not
you're a
messing with
secret
that.
zombie under there, like you're sitting in there, girl. Not me, girl. Not me. Couldn't be me. But when Ira just like seeing that the sarcophagi, I'm gonna call them just for my own brain, are untouched, and everything here seems to be like interesting, but nothing of like significant damage. I would have Ire then move all the way back up the stairs, if that doesn't take too long, to tell everybody like, oh hey, like there. I'm assuming it's gnomes buried inside gnomish written sarcophagus. So like there's gnomes buried down there. There's a painting with the ice dragon that may be significant to our dragon investigation, so maybe if you guys want to come down here.
Yeah.
But otherwise there is no like grave robbery. And then Ire would add on the extra bit of just like, okay, this is better. This is more what I was talking about instead of these shallow little
So you could
crabby little graves.
You could think to do that when you come back upstairs. But we take a quick little break, and then we'll come back and see what happens upstairs while Ire's looking downstairs. And up below, Ire's downstairs looking at the items and the crypt and the art. And then upstairs, we had Granny and Soul sort of backing off for a conversation between Emmy, who's sitting in a hole, or standing in a hole, and Kanna, who came over.
Hey.
Hey. I fell.
Sorry, I don't. I
How does
fell.
that feel?
Like I think I'm okay, but you know, it's kind of dark and gross down here.
Do you want help?
Yeah, I think I need it.
I have a rope.
Oh, peace. I'm glad you did it, not me.
I'll pull out a rope from my like side pack, and I'll throw it down and hold it out.
Oh, okay. Do you think you can support my weight on the way up?
I don't know. I'm going to try.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to climb the rope.
You're
I'm at disadvantage.
yeah. You still have the disadvantage from being tipsy.
Uh-oh.
Do I need to make one as well to hold?
No, because your push, drag, and lift is definitely higher than
Okay.
if you're just holding it for stats, you'll be fine.
Okay.
So Emmy, you need to crawl up.
Athletics.
Yep.
At disadvantage.
Oh, that's a 3.
So,
Ah.
so while you grab onto the rope, like Kanna, you sort of steady yourself in order to pull it back. If you wanted to pull it back, you would have to do a strength check or an athletics check rather. But since Emmy got a 3, you begin.
Ow, my hands! My delicate hands!
You let go of the rope, like you don't even fall over. You just pull yourself up, and you're like, ow.
You're like, I can't do it, Kanna. It's hard.
Me.
The
This is
sip.
me. Jen, this is me.
Yeah, same.
I'm just going to get soul.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere.
I don't think I could if I tried. Because I tried and it didn't go well.
So I'll walk back over to Soul, and hello, big strong man. I am a small girl and cannot lift this elf out of the grave. I need your help.
Right.
Just like looking up, like
The height difference.
defeated. Like
Help.
I need help.
Okay. I'll go over. And once I'm at the edge of the hole, I am going to quickly turn around, pick up Kanna, and put Kanna in the hole. And as I'm walking away, you two are going to talk about your problems.
Can I make a dexterity check to see if I don't?
You can make
Can
a
I-
strength saving throw against a grapple check. So an athletics check from Soul and a strength saving throw from Kanna.
I'm a tiny little five.
I know you
So
are.
really said, this is your get along shirt.
I can't slip out.
One of those is a natural 20.
You said I don't
No,
want
the disadvantage.
I know. So I, 7. You said athletics?
Yeah.
7.
Okay. So it wasn't that hard.
Athletics. 9.
So you try to pick up Kanna, and Kanna's doing a pretty good job at planting themselves and not getting into the hole. But you still say, like, you two are going to talk about your problems out loud.
I can just imagine Kanna's just like, you know how like, when people hold themselves comedically above a hole by doing this? Just like this above the hole.
You just tried to throw me in a fucking hole.
I was not trying to throw you, and I was going to gently let you in, but now you're struggling, and now this is just weird because now I'm just holding you out. Both of you need to talk about your shit.
What shit? I don't have
We have to
shit.
talk about it in a hole?
Where else is better? It's a very private area.
A not hole?
Perhaps a nut
And
hole.
And it's a grave?
Well, it's technically empty, so I don't know if it's a grave. No one's in it. It's just a hole at this point.
It's a metaphor for the fact that the hole you've put yourself in is very grave.
Yes,
Look,
thank you,
I don't-
Ira. That's exactly, yes, what they
Telepathic Ira.
said.
Echoing
That-
up
that-
from the grave.
I don't have an issue. I don't know what you mean. And I would like to not be thrown in a hole. We have work to do.
The amount of metaphors I'm getting from this,
Fine.
like digging your own grave, all that stuff.
I'll reach down. Or I don't know. I guess I'll just do the same, like just pick up.
Yeah, you could do
Arms up.
your push drag and lift. I think you could pick her up fine. Because you're
I'm also not that
large.
deep,
Yeah, you're
technically, because
yeah.
I'm also tall.
Yeah, I think it'd be
You
fine.
could probably scoop an armpit. Lift.
Yeah, based on your like size and strength, I think you'd be able to do that just fine. So, Emmy, you are lifted from the hole.
Thank you very much.
It was kind of gross down there.
It immediately like covers itself back up with grass, and you're not quite sure where the edge is anymore.
Is that just
Immediately fall back
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn it.
Dangerous zone. Can I look and see if I can read the name on the grave that I fell into? Like, is there a tombstone near it?
Yeah.
Or is it just a hole?
There's a
Okay.
tombstone. Yeah. You just look over it, and it says in common, Stella Artor.
Stella? All right. Not going back in. Need to find Stella.
find out your local brewery?
Missing. Not home.
We had Tegan with the chipped off last name. We had Luann, and then we had Stella. Those are the 3 names that you guys have read, and then a bunch of gnome names downstairs.
What was the third? What was the other name?
Luann, and then
Luann.
yeah, I gave them the
Luann
last name.
DeLong?
Yes, that's what it was. And then Tegan.
Was Tegan the one that Granny knew?
Potentially.
I've
Or
known
potentially.
Tegans.
Yeah. Okay.
The least useful information. I blew all my 20s
Oh, you did.
immediately on useless stuff and got here and was like, I don't know anything.
So, Emmy, you lifted out of the hole. Soul, Kanna.
I'm just giving Soul the fuck.
Walk away.
Soul walks away.
Just kind of walk over to Granny. I think I fucked it up. I think I made it worse. I think I made it so much worse.
No, maybe. Kind of seems pretty defensive now, so I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm just gonna start walking toward, like, just away.
As you start walking towards / away, Ire, you're coming back up the stairs, and you meet Soul first. You were saying you were gonna say things, but you could say them in character. I think that'd be better.
I will say that I also kind of get jump scared because I would be walking up the staircase at a good pace just to be like face to face with somebody that wasn't there before. I'd be like, huh.
Yeah, definitely.
And then think. Oh, okay, sorry. Ooh. Trying to think about what I'm saying. I was gonna Actually, this is what Ira's gonna do. Ira's going to get startled for a second and then be like, wait, you must see. They have different kinds of graves down there and a large painting of Ice Dragon. It's very cool. Don't know what the graves are about that are gnomish unlike these, but you have to see. And then I'm just gonna grab Soul's hand and then just pull them down the steps with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think Emmy's heading that way, but I'm definitely doing like taps with my feet as I continue on, just to not end up in another hole.
Okay.
It's very slow.
Granny, you see as people are sort of breaking away from like the intended conversation, and you're just sort of standing in the center. What are you doing?
Has Kanna moved, or are you still kind of just processing what happened over there?
I'm walking back.
Okay.
I'll try to grab Kanna.
In what way?
Not grab like aggressively, but like pull to the side.
Into the
The
grave with
tallest
you.
of the party just
I'm
grabbed.
going to the tavern.
So like a little
no, I
arm
think
grab
I'd
or
just,
something.
like, grab her, squeeze her arm a little,
Yes.
and kind of let Emmy sort of make her way towards that,
Okay.
the crypt.
Mhm.
I just wanted to talk to you for a moment without Emmy around, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Sure.
So once Emmy's kind of out of earshot,
Yeah.
So
I got that disadvantaged perception anyway.
Right.
So I'm focused
just
on that
swaying,
ground.
falling
Trying to
down
get
the
the solid
stairs.
ground of the crypt. Yeah.
So it sounds like you don't really know what's going on, which is fine. I think Emmy is maybe in her feelings about something. I'm not entirely sure what, but she's a little upset and feels, I think, sort of like you've given up the bit of friendship that y'all had together, and I don't know if that's coming across to you necessarily, because she's not really mentioning it to you, but I think that's what Saul was trying to get you to talk about. There's something that she has interpreted you doing that I don't know if you know you've done. I'm not really sure the context of this, and I don't feel like it's necessarily my place to say what it is, but maybe try to talk to her. Or don't. But that's what that was about, at least.
It's not that I haven't noticed that Emmy is being a little emotional. I just really am not of the kind to... If you have a problem, say so. If you don't say so, then there is no problem. At least that's how I roll.
Well, if you know that Emmy doesn't roll that way, though, and she's your friend, then you could at least ask her if everything was okay. And then if she says nothing, then don't push it if that's not the way you are. But I don't think she's that sort of person herself. I wouldn't put your own standards of your own being on someone else necessarily.
I don't know if I would necessarily call anyone here a friend. I'll be honest with you, Granny.
Well, we don't know each other that well yet, but
Exactly.
I feel like we've already been through some things together that we're more than acquaintances, and
We are co-workers, yes.
yes, you can be friends with your coworkers. You usually find like one coworker to hate together, and you talk about the days of that you don't like to come in because that one boss is there. But I don't think I can convince you of friendship with anyone. But I don't think anyone here is out to hurt you emotionally or physically.
I don't think they are. It's just been, what, 24 hours?
You came in with Emmy, didn't you? How much time had y'all spent together before that? It seems
Well-
like you've known each other a while, but she may just be easily attached.
You seem close, you should ask.
Why can't you tell me?
I'm just gonna walk away.
Ooh.
God, it's so cagey.
I can't believe Kanna doesn't like me.
They found the coworker to hate together. Ugh.
I mean, Granny will follow and to go down into the crypt, and if If Emmy's still struggling, she'll help her get down the stairs.
Thank you.
Down below in the crypt, Ire, you've been followed by everybody.
Ira's going to kind of like gleefully walk in front, just like show like the room and the things that they observed. Ira's noticed these grand I'm gonna say sarcophagi because that's what I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
gonna
fine.
call it. Sarcophagi with gnomish writing as compared to the other ones were common, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Compared to the common ones, so this must be a different family, and they have made they have this historical painting of a dragon known to have created the caverns of ice, where the dragons were buried. And I'm assuming perhaps maybe here as opposed to up with the missing and insufficient graveyard upstairs, we could find something of worth here, not connected to necessarily to weird. I honestly was not listening. Bird was more important, but maybe crystal dragon. And then just gonna keep pointing at the painting itself.
And
Oh,
you
have
guys
we all made it
recognize
down?
and you guys recognize this painting as the creation of the Valley of Glass, which is outside of Pradior, which is one of the oldest sort of dragon histories that have started the story of like eradicating all of the dragons. But what's the significance of it being here?
Exactly, mysterious voice in the sky.
Wow. Wow.
What is... Why is this down here? What does it have to do with this small town crypt?
If I look around, can I see if I recognize any of the names?
Sure. You could do like a history check, I suppose.
Okay. And can I also barter to not have it at disadvantage because I suddenly feel a little sobered?
No, it's only been like 5 minutes.
Are you sure? No. I feel like there's a significance for a sobering feeling.
Falling in a hole might sober you up a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
I will.
Okay.
I will be Emmy's lawyer in this one sense of that she's just
You can do a regular roll. That's fine.
incapable
Okay.
of like
So
physical-
incapable.
so incapable of physical strenuous activity that pulling on that rope was the physical.
And then
exertion
needing
that
help
she
down the
was
stairs. Yeah. That's sobering.
I mean, I have reasoning for why it is sobering. I just don't know if I want to say it, but I got a 12.
Okay, you look at the names and you see the last name is recognized as Earthshaker. You don't recognize any of the first names though.
Okay.
But based on your history and your family, the Earthshakers are individuals who are basically people who construct pathways and underground pathways.
Okay.
Can I have a feature of historical knowledge.
Okay.
Can I tell the like age slash quality of the painting?
Yeah, totally. As just looking, do you have to roll anything, or is that just a quality that you have?
It says if I'm in a ruin or a dungeon, which
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts.
I'd
as
say
that,
it counts as a ruin, maybe.
but,
Yeah.
You correctly ascertain its original purpose, determine blah blah blah. We know the builders and stuff already, but it says in addition you can determine the monetary value of art objects more than a century old.
Okay, yeah, it's more than a century old. You look at it and you can see that this is hand painted. There's like some chips in the paint just from like natural erosion, and someone could cut this out and make a significant amount of money, but like the original purpose of a painting like this would be like an indicator that there is like a door.
Do you share the part about the Earth Shakers, Emmy?
I think I would.
Okay.
Just kind of like, would I know any Earth Shakers?
Maybe. Like, let's
Potentially.
roll like a 50, flip a coin. 50-50 chance.
I don't know if I have one.
You can do a D100,
Even's an
do
odd.
below 50. Yeah, there you go. That works. That works.
No, odd, no, even, yes. Even, 4. Yeah, so yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'd say that you have known some, maybe some younger people, a family, and the dad is like always off building, and he comes back, and he's like really buff and gruff, and they're really like determined in their work and proud of their work, and the kids are rich.
Okay.
They come from richness, at least.
They got that money.
Yeah.
Look at that money.
Which would make sense as to why you would know them.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
So I actually knew some Earthshakers when I went to school. Like, not like my uni. But yeah, like their dads are all like really hot and buff because actually they work in this thing where they like build these tunnels all day. It's actually like super impressive.
So that makes me wonder because this painting, this sort of thing would usually indicate that there's some sort of pathway here that if you sort of have to be in the know to know that it's here. But if they make underground paths or something, then this probably does lead somewhere else. I don't know how we would open it necessarily, but do you think that the Livius's wife was related to this family?
We never asked what his wife's name was.
I thought we got the name.
No, we
Did
didn't.
we not?
Mm-mm.
Well, I also didn't see the picture, so I didn't know she was gnomish.
That's
just knew
true.
she
We
was small.
technically only know above table.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, in game I only knew she was smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Soul knows.
Then
in
him.
Oh,
game.
gotcha. Well, anyway, there's probably a door here, I guess.
I guess-
Did you take a look?
I have a question. What type of gnome would like Earth Shakers have been? Because they wouldn't be like tree gnomes, right?
No,
Or
but they're also
whatever
not
the
deep
are.
gnomes. They're like mountain gnomes, essentially.
Mhm.
They would
Okay.
be like living amongst dwarves and people
Okay.
who live in more like rocky areas, but not necessarily underground like deep gnomes.
Okay.
Can I investigation check to see if I can find something that would open a door?
Sure. Sure.
8.
Yeah, so as you're looking around, you like, pull on the sconces, see if they're like, and like handles, you sort of like press every possible like brick that looks like it could be loose. And then around the painting, you do end up seeing like a seam almost that cuts through bricks. So you can see that there is a door there. There's physically
how to
around
open
the
it.
painting,
How
but
to
not on
do it.
how to open it.
Any luck, associate?
There is something behind
Associate.
here. But how to open it, I cannot.
Do you think it would be
understand.
like a magic lock or something like that?
Perhaps, yes.
It could be.
And I use detect magic again on the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right, I have that too.
Again.
Forgot. Forgot what I
So
brought.
again, I was just going to get in front of the door, just taking a deep breath in. Again, sheet of frost crackles all over their fur. They open their eyes to the snowflake-shaped eyes, and they just hold a gaze on the door.
It's almost as if like everything else sort of like
So cool.
grays out around you as your snowflake eyes look upon the door, and the seam of it glows like white, and it's emanating this conjuration magic. You feel very familiar with it as well.
And do I? Ooh, what school of magic would it be?
You would say conjuration. However, you feel familiar with it in a sense that the energy you're feeling from this lock is the same energy you feel within yourself.
I am gonna take a shot in the dark and go up to the painting, and if I can, use frostbite on the door to see if I can attune to the energy that I'm starting to feel.
Yeah, and as you sort of hollow out everything around you, tunnel visioning to the door, feeling that matched energy, you place your hand on the painting of the ice dragon and release this frost, and the frost seeps into the crevices, almost as a vein almost coming from your hand, and the entire room starts getting really, really, really cold. And from the chandelier that didn't have any lights on, the fire begins, but it's a blue flame that flickers, and little snowflakes begin to come off of it, and the room begins to snow around you. After a moment, your spell is fully cast and you release your hand. The door does not open. But it is iced.
Aya has seen the door emanates some strange blue conjuration and thought that ice would attune to it. I am very sorry for the cold room now, but at least we learned something.
As you turn around to the party, though, everyone can make a perception check. While it's getting cold in the room.
I have a big giant overcoat, over Sith robe coat on.
That's true, that's true.
I got that.
You said
dirty
perception?
20.
Okay, yes, perception. Okay.
12.
Perception 14.
Okay, Ire, what's your perception?
Oh, yes, you said everyone. Ooh.
Everyone.
Yes, even you, Ice Wizard. Or Ice Wizard.
Yeah, 15.
Everyone notices that the chandelier is half lit. There are 6 candles on it, and 3 of them are now lit with this blue flame that is emitting snow.
But only 3.
Only 3 of them out of the 6
Is it
candles.
half down the middle?
It is
or
half down the
like-
middle. So let's say it looks like a What are the Jewish candle holders for Hanukkah? What is this called?
Menorah.
Menorah.
Yeah, it very much
Menorah.
looks like a menorah, with a
Okay.
pole in the center, and then it has 3 bars going out each side.
Okay.
I have
Um,
something I could try.
Okay.
I will walk over to the painting. Don't think this is gonna work, but I'm gonna walk over and cast Firebolt on the door.
In the exact same way and fashion, the firebolt sort of hits the door and almost seeps into the painting like a vein and starts to creep around a small flicker of fire between the bricks that have been painted on, and it mixes in almost like a candy cane swirl around the
That's cool.
painting, around the seam with the ice. And the 3 other candle pieces light up with a red flame, and then you hear a and then the room fills with steam, but it's not like an alarming steam. It's like filling the floor with fog as the door begins to open from the left, like a swinging hinge door. And on the inside, you see a collapsed cave full of rock.
A collapsed cave.
It looks like you could see when the door opens, there's a large square about 5 foot tall, and it is filled. You can see that there's like a tunnel that was intended to be there. It's built out with like metal and wood, but then just a few feet down the way, it is completely collapsed.
I don't suppose anyone has any spells to do anything about this.
Not today, I don't. I could.
Slowly mend it. Don't do anything.
2 years
You'd be
later.
there for 2 years. And
Emmy
this
was
is the
never
game.
heard from or seen again.
Does it
We're just
look
playing
like
Tetris in a cave. That's the whole campaign.
does it look like it's collapsed for the majority of it, or does it look like there's just a section that is collapsed?
You're
That you just have to
unsure
get-
because
not
it's
sure.
sort of like you see forward and then a bunch of rocks.
Okay.
So it could be a section, could be a long period. It's you just see a bunch of rocks.
Are there any gaps between the rocks? Like, can I feel any air coming through? Can I?
You could do a perception check if you wanted to like step in to go walk down there and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, so you step through the painting and sort of feel almost like a chill as you enter, and you do see a plaque on the wall before heading up to the rock. The plaque on the wall. Do you speak Gnomish?
I do not.
Is written in a language you do not know, but you can recognize that as the same language on the plaques outside that Emmy just read.
There's a plaque in here in Gnomish. I don't read that.
Come on down. I'll read it.
Well,
'Cause I also
Granny,
got that dark vision.
that's true. Well, Granny goes to go and feel like the rocks and see if there's any sort of wind. Emmy, you see that the plaque says "Path to Glass Valley" in Gnomish.
It says Path to Glass Valley, which I think is in Pradior.
Yes.
It is.
I wonder if this was closed off for a reason then.
Yeah. As you're looking at the rocks, like you're not feeling any wind or any sort of movement. You try to like move a rock, but it's been like it feels as though it's been there for so long it's compacted, and like pulling it did absolutely nothing.
But it's like a perfect seal? Or...
It's not a
I guess we're
perfect
getting
seal.
Does it seem?
If you
Does
wanted
it
to
seem
get
like
like
it happened naturally versus? Is that
You
what
do
we're
a
trying to
nature- you
figure
can do a
out, like,
nature
naturally
check. I'm
versus
down for
someone
that.
Did it?
do like a nature check, Granny.
Can I assist since I'm down there? Can I help? I'm there.
That's fine. That's fine.
I need the assistance. Thank you. That was a 1.
My nature isn't good, but I know some things about like gnomish work, so maybe
Fair.
I could tell if it was done on purpose.
16 total.
It seems as though it's old. Like the plaque itself is rusted. There's cobwebs inside. It probably was natural. It at least there's no like remnants of like black tar or any bombs. Or, like it seems as though it just caved in.
Okay. I mean, my guess would be that this used to be a way to travel to Pradior, or at least the area. But it
It
seems to have just caved in.
it kind of feels really weird to like put that in a crypt, but I guess I mean their family had money. Maybe the family commuted back and forth that way, or it was just easier, or maybe there's money hidden in here.
There
Who
could be
knows?
some a resource there that they use for this sort of just gesturing around like the mechanical things that they make. I don't know much about that sort of thing, but I don't really see any way to move these without some sort of magic to do so, or a lot of labor. She like turns and looks at Soul for a second. I don't really want to put that on you. I don't know if it would even be possible.
I
can
couldn't even pull
try.
myself out of a hole, so
I feel like it could be dangerous to start pulling at these. But you can, if you want to try, you can. But I don't
Try?
think
Why not? I'll go try pull one of these out. Whatever.
I will step out of the room.
Anyway,
Yep, I'm out the tunnel.
You guys trade spots.
I'm
Soul,
60 feet back.
Soul, you're over. I mean, Granny also would have felt pretty cramped in there. You're over 5 feet, so you're sort of like getting in there. You could feel like Granny probably would have felt the same way. You could like feel your shoulders sort of on the edges and like scraping through. You inch your way to the rubble, and you also don't feel any sort of like wind, or you don't see any lights or any holes. The rocks also aren't like shifting or moving. It's just been there for a while.
Try to move one. I'll still just for shits and giggles. Why not?
Yeah, do a strength check, or athletics rather.
Why do I have an advantage on that? What is that from?
You're strong.
Hyper transformation. Never mind.
You're strong.
Strong.
3.
So as you're pulling on it, whether it's your talent or the rocks themselves, nothing is moving. Like, you're pushing, like, you're kind of like trying to find like an edge or anything like that. It really just seems like a cave in.
I don't think we're going this way.
I don't think so. I could potentially go through as like a bug or something, but I wouldn't be able to get you through, so it would be sort of silly. And if a rock slightly moved and crushed me, I'd die. So, I don't love that idea, but...
Would I have any idea how far it is to Pradior from where we are?
Weeks away.
Okay.
I wonder if there's a, like, moving mechanism, with sort of like a cart down here that they would have taken just sort of as a hidden pathway between, because I can't imagine walking on foot to there from here. Last
Not
time I
unless
went to
they also built,
Pradior,
like,
it was not
some
on
homes
foot.
and stuff inside of there, but
That's a good point.
Well,
We know
Well,
it's
this is certainly
here.
enlightening at the very least. No?
yes, I think knowing this is helpful, but I just wish we could proceed through it, or at least we could potentially come back here later if we needed to get there secretly, but I don't have the ability to do that today.
we might be able to find the other side too, like in Pradior, and kind of like work our way backwards.
It's true.
That is a rather big shot in the dark, no?
I don't really know what the underground passages are like, though, and they may be very well labeled. I mean, there's a plaque here saying where it's going, so it could be the same. I don't know if this goes like directly into where the dragons are, though. So I'm mostly just curious what this connects to, if it's just a pathway or if it connects into something more. They got their riches somewhere, and I wonder if it's from harvesting that. Especially if we are looking for a crystallized dragon skeleton that came out in pieces. It could have come from here.
And then buried behind them so they could not be followed.
But I don't know.
That is rather curious because I was wondering why you would need a secret tunnel down here. And why in the middle of a crypt? Was it a
It's just
secret
odd in
to
a
go?
crypt, but
Well, I guess if we're thinking that they like could have potentially transported through this, then they would have ended up in Pradior.
But why in secret?
If you were moving part of a dragon thing that we're looking for?
Yes.
Can we ask the family? We talked to the family that owns the crypt, right? What is it? The rock? What?
The Earth
What?
Shakers?
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say talk to the dead. I was like, who knows that right now? What? Who has that spell?
Someone might.
Isn't that
I
like a
don't know.
level
I
3
mean,
spell?
We would
I
have
remember
to
2 or 3.
find them. And like I knew a couple in high school, but like I really haven't talked to them since.
Granny's gonna walk over to one of the little sarcophagi.
Okay.
Are they sealed?
They have a lid.
Just take a peek.
So
I
you
just
you
wanna
want
see
to
if there
push the
are
lid
bodies
of
in
okay.
at all.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I want to see if this is actually even a crypt or if it's just to look like a crypt as like a diversion. Because that would make it more interesting as far as like this was literally just for getting there.
Well, when you push the lid of the sarcophagi
Sorry, y'all.
off,
Oops.
it is full of dead flowers. And you maybe don't touch, but through looking, you don't see any skeleton or any wrapped body parts.
Do they look like any particular type of flower? Are they like a one specific kind of flower, or is it
No,
just
it's sort of like
wildflowers?
wildflowers. Yeah, like dead sunflowers, dead lilies, little things like just a bunch of variations of flowers together, but all dried and dead.
Emmy, who did this say this was?
I want to read it. You gotta make it up.
I do.
It says Gertrude Earthshaker.
Gertrude, I love it. I'm here for it. Gertrude Earthshaker it is.
So this seems I think this is just a diversion. I wonder how many crypts there are that are just pathways that this family used.
I mean, maybe, but also sometimes, especially if you're like digging things like this, sometimes they can't recover bodies. So I don't know if that could potentially be what happened here, and that would be very
True.
sad. I
I'm
don't
gonna
necessarily want
dig
to
through the
suggest we
flowers a
open
little.
more, but maybe we should open another one and see.
I'm
it's a
fine with
pattern?
doing that. I know maybe this is frowned upon, but I don't think death is anything unusual or that needs a special treatment. It's just another stage of life to me. So I don't mind being the one to do it if you're worried about dishonoring them.
Ayar's gonna overhear this and upset that the graves that were the graves
good
that they-
ones?
Yeah, the good ones, the ones that they thought were proper actual gravestones, offended will be like, there are no bodies in these, and then just go to the next closest one and shove the lid.
Oh my God.
You shove the lid open and it is full of flowers.
Ayar's just beside themselves, like, how
I
do
just
you
want to dig down
finally
into
get-
one and see.
How do you finally get graves right and there are no bodies in these?
While they're digging through these, I'm gonna kind of slip back up the stairs.
Okay.
And like not go out of the crypt necessarily, but I just want to poke my head up.
Okay.
I want to see if opening this door or like poking around here has drawn any attention.
Okay. Yeah, do a perception check as you sort of poke your head out from the stair area.
Are you trying
Natural
to sneak your way
20.
away?
No, I'm not leaving.
I meant like up the stairs. Are you trying to?
Are you sneaking? You said slip away. Are you sneaking or are you just doing it?
I won't like announce that I'm doing it, but I'll just kind of like while everyone's like kind of distracted, I'll just like
Yeah, pop up.
walk up.
And what did you roll?
Natural 20.
Oh, let's go. You pop your head up and you sort of just get like a little breeze, the like humidity breeze into your hair. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. Still no gravekeepers. Don't even know if there's one here. And
Okay.
but
there's no bodies.
But you also get like
Anywhere.
a sense that there is nobody around with that natural 20. Like you're feeling confident in that feeling.
Okay. Is there anywhere that I could hide myself potentially?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of like pillars and foliage definitely around because of all the overgrown grass and things.
I'm gonna go hide myself behind something that's kind of from the view. If you walk out the stairs
Okay.
and then something from the view of the stairs, I want to go hide behind something that's big enough to kind of obstruct me.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna go over behind like a big gravestone or
Yeah.
something. And I'm gonna sit down and reach into my pouch. And I'm just gonna take out a little sheet of like red paper.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna spend like the next 5 minutes or so while everyone is doing that. I fold the piece of paper into like a rose.
Mhm.
And then grab a little stick and put the rose on top of the little stick. And then I'll just kind of like sit there while I look at it and twiddle my thumbs.
Okay. All right. Down below,
She's an artist.
Granny, did you say that you were gonna dig through the flowers?
Yeah, I just want to see like if I can get to the bottom of it and make sure there's not something under the flowers.
Okay.
And
Do an investigation check, please.
And while you're doing that, can I cast see invisibility and just see if there's anything else that might have been hidden?
Sure.
13.
Okay. So, digging your hand into the flowers, you sort of like push it down. You feel the bottom of it, and you sort of scrape your hand along the end, or the bottom and along the edges and things like that. And you find yourself wrapping your hand around what feels like a scroll container that's wrapped within the flowers.
I found goodies or a limb. I'm not sure which.
Limb. Emmy, is that a spell or is it a ritual?
It's a spell. I don't think I can do it ritually.
Okay. So, what do you look like when you cast that spell? I'm curious. Or
For
what does the
see
spell look like?
invisibility, I think I cover my eyes and I reach out to Callista and say, "Show me what can't be seen," and just kind of let that sink over. And then when I reveal, there would be like a little twilight in the eyes.
Okay. So with your new fancy eyes, you take your hands out and open them up, and they're like a little bit brighter than usual, like have a little physical, actual sparkle. And you're looking around, and you don't see anything that is out of place or new. Everything is slightly like, I don't know, sepia toned because of your spell, perhaps, but nothing is like glowing or giving you any indicator that it's invisible.
Instead of sepia, let's make it purple hued.
Yeah, purple hued is good.
'Cause I like that.
That's perfect. Everything's like a slightly purple, a little violet-y.
So nothing here, but I do have it for the next hour.
Cool.
So
Cool. Good to know. So, Granny, you found
I'll pull
somewhat
out the
goodie or
mystery
a limb.
cylinder.
The mystery cylinder. It ends up being like maybe the size of like a regular forearm. It's not exceptionally huge. Maybe like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 inches large. And there's a little top on it.
I'll open it.
What?
I'm gonna do this right on the top of that cylinder that's 7, 8, 9 inches long.
Sorry,
You are
YouTube.
not sneaky.
You
Oh
know.
my god.
I'm not sorry.
So you take the top off, and inside there is a coiled up paper.
I'll take it out.
You take out the paper and you read the title of a scroll of protection.
Oh.
Okay.
Gosh.
How many of these grave things are there?
6.
Oh my god.
6? Well, everyone, I
we're just grave robbing.
they're quite wealthy, and there don't
Who's the
appear to
real rogue
actually be
here?
any graves here. So, I might help myself to some things here. you can participate if you'd like, but
Ire, hearing this, immediately dives in the other sarcophagus that they just uncovered. Is like,
Upon going through the sarcophagus that you uncovered, a very similar situation happens. You are scraping through it, kind of tossing the flowers out, being a little less
respectful.
neat and respectful. You also find yourself with a 6, 7, 8, 9-inch cylinder with a lid.
it's an average size cylinder.
Yes, average size cylinder.
That is above average.
It's above average.
The depends on who you ask cylinder.
Do you
industry
also
do
pop
you
the
work
top
in?
off?
Yes.
And it is also a scroll of protection.
Is it protection from evil and good?
No, it's just scroll of protection is what it's called. Let me see.
I know
Scroll
what that does.
of protection. One
Roll
second.
of erection protection.
Scroll of protection. Excuse me. Scroll of protection. Each scroll of protection works against a specific type of creature chosen by the DM or determined randomly by rolling, which you'll be rolling. And using an action to read the scroll encloses you an invisible barrier that extends from you for a 5-foot radius and a 10-foot high cylinder for 5 minutes. This barrier prevents creatures of that specific type from entering or affecting anything within that cylinder.
Interesting.
So Squid, if you want to roll a D100, we can tell you what creature type it is for. And same thing with Ire.
75.
That is Fiends. Scroll of protection from Fiends for 5 minutes.
That's pretty good.
77.
That is a Plants. Scroll of protection from Plants.
Are you all just desecrating graves in there?
No.
Yeah.
No. There's apparently scrolls. No bodies.
Okay, just make sure nothing attacks you. Still chilling in the cave. I think like he tried to move it and like he's just now sitting in there.
You're sitting in
just
there?
like,
Okay.
Yeah, just vibing.
Granny would put things back like afterwards. She doesn't want it to look like crazy in here, but I don't think there's any remorse for this. Like these are clearly here supplies for if something went wrong or happened in some way. They're meant to be used, I think. At least that's what I think. But she'd go through the rest if other people aren't opening them.
Granny just making her way one by one, grabbing scrolls of protection from each of the graves. So
I would probably
Six
help
scrolls of
Granny, but know that
protection.
I'm not capable of fully doing it myself. I
Okay.
don't
Y'all
think.
wanna roll some of them?
yeah, you guys want to roll
And
scrolls
also,
of protection?
also very nervous that
Can I
there
roll
is
one
going to
for
be a
fun?
body
Yeah.
in one
Yeah,
of
go
them.
for it.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's
What do
one
we do?
body, and I'm like,
I would have a very hard time.
You like slide the lid and you're like, oh.
Let me just close that up.
69.
69.
Hey.
Nice, nice.
That is Fiends as well.
Okay.
I got 83.
That is Undead.
Ooh.
Mine's undead.
Mm-hmm.
2 fiend, 1 plant, 1 undead.
That's
So it's 2 more.
4.
Oh, here, I'll roll one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 83.
Undead.
Isn't that what I
That's
just
awesome.
had?
Yeah.
Yep. I
Who
mean,
wants to
those
roll
are
the
pretty
last one?
like common
That's solid.
enemies. Yeah. 2.
Yeah.
Last one.
more?
Yep.
Granny.
You got it. I believe in you. You're the one who dug it out.
32.
32 is elementals.
Ooh.
So you guys pick up all of these scrolls of protection. There's nothing else within these graves. But yeah, you essentially get the sense that these are equipment things for in case travelers or people of this family, things might have gone wrong. But there's a lot of like dust and like dead bugs as well, like mixed within these flowers. Like it hasn't been touched for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm satisfied with my haul here. she's just passing them out to anyone who didn't like participate. I don't know where Kanna went, but save one for her. Is there anything else we want to look at in here?
How do we close everything so it doesn't look like we just did what we did?
Looking around, it's just like all the graves are open. There's flowers sort of scraped up and out on the floors. The actual painting is open that's leading to a cave that is collapsed.
I mean, Granny would put back all the lids and stuff.
Okay.
She can lift a lot.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though her strength is like nothing.
Yeah.
Got that Loxodon trait. Lets me lift a stupid amount. But yeah, I didn't think about the door.
I wonder if we blow out the flames, if it'll close.
Oh,
Maybe. Up.
As long
Just
as
put my
it's out
trunk
there.
up and just.
Try to
wait,
blow
let
on
me get
him.
out of here first.
Run
As
and
you- basically, as you blow out the candles, they do de-ignite. They go out. And Soul,
English.
it's not like the door swings closed or anything. Like you absolutely make it out as it slowly sort of begins to creep closed. And once it closes, that like spiraling fire and ice sort of just begins to fade away. The veins all creep back into the center into one little blue and red flame, and then it just goes away, and the painting is as it was.
I actually have a quick question. Would the color of my fire stay consistent through the spell working its way up into, like, the chandelier?
Yeah.
So you would have noticed that when the fire was burning through the painting, it was purple.
Okay. Nice. We love this.
And so the little flames on top were also purple.
That's fun. Okay, we love purple in this house.
Ew.
Right, and for the most part, I mean, aside from like a couple flowers that are like scattering the floor, it looks relatively the same in here.
Well, I was mostly just
Acceptable.
worried we would find the farmer's body in here, and that would have been a little rough. But this is not what I expected to find here.
True that.
Shall we make our way out of here? I'm really not looking forward to climbing these stairs.
Ire,
By-
before going
by
out,
this
is going
time,
to
is it
walk up
night?
to the painting
Mhm.
though, and just give it one last like touch, just so they could like feel the magic that they sensed earlier. Just because they thought it was cool that a random painting like was something about like ice related, and it makes them just feel happy. And then they start to make their way up the stairs.
Yeah. And as you guys head up the stairs, Kanna, you can hear you can hear them coming up the stairs. What are you doing?
I think I'd still be sitting there. I probably would have I would have just closed my eyes and probably just like briefly rested and kind of meditated a little bit on the events of the last 24 to 30 hours. Kind of thinking about what happened today and what the next few days is going to look like for us. But I think when I don't immediately get up yet as they're coming up.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna wait a second.
Yeah, as you guys all sort of emerge from the stairs, the sky has definitely hit like a deeper red. The sun is going down, and it's sort of like casting a, not darkness, but a dusk vibe. Like, you can tell just like the animals are sort of closing up their evenings as well. Like it's just getting quieter.
Closing time.
Oh, we
Rainy
should
like
probably.
stumbles off the
Emmy tries to help, but probably doesn't.
Is Granny trying to circle to get up the stairs? Ira is going to do like grab one arm and then like try to pull up, but again, like Emmy, I have -1 strength, so I am emotional support at best.
You still make it work though. Granny gets up the stairs and is totally fine.
I will not be fine tomorrow, but I'm fine today. Emmy, were there rooms in that tavern?
Yes. I don't remember the price, but yes.
I will pay anything at this point for somewhere to lay down.
Oh.
At least I'm pretty sure there was rooms because I think it was part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where Kanna went and just sort of look around like, where the fuck did you go? Did I go too far? You ran away.
You said associate and she ran out.
You also countered me with an associate, but I said it in private. You said it to the group.
Mm-hmm. Just rainy things.
Absolutely. As I realize the group is kind of coming up, I will kind of just like take a little mote of that purple fire and kind of just like flick it up in the air and pop out from behind the gravestone.
Oh, there you are. I was wondering if you had already gone back to town or fallen in a grave, perhaps.
I thought about pretending to and then jumping out and scaring all of you, but I decided to get some ale instead.
It might kill me, so be careful. I'm kidding. Kind of.
I'd never want to kill an associate.
Oh,
truly would be devastating.
We'd be one man down. It'd be harder to complete our job.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I can make some candy for my friends on our way back if anyone's hungry. But I think we're ready to make our way back to the tavern. We found some things down there after you left. If you want some, just sort of show her the scrolls that we found, just so you're in the loop. No bodies, just a bunch of flower petals and scrolls of protection.
So they were fake.
Yeah. Some sort of, I guess, hub of travel? I'm not sure, but I do think this is related to either the original acquisition of the dragon we're looking for or used to transport it away from here in pieces. But it seems like it's been caved in for a while, so I think this is where it might have come from.
I will walk over and take the scroll from Granny. But I will say thank you with a genuine thank you, not sassy.
Of course.
Just a genuine thank you, and then I'll back up. And I heard talk of the tavern.
Yes, I think we're gonna go get some rooms. I'm exhausted after climbing those stairs, so I certainly do not want to try and go into the dragon cave at all. We did mention shopping for climbing gear. I don't know if anything's going to be open still, though, so that may have to be a tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll just do
Morning.
We can do it
right
in the
early.
morning.
Yeah.
I also want to see if that the couple of stores we passed by that were closed, if they're open or if they're just closed. It seemed like they closed a little early if they were empty when we left, but since there have been people sort of leaving and missing, I'm just curious. But shall we
Well-
make our way?
Morning problems.
Morning problems. It's got to be the name of the next episode as well. As you guys head back to the tavern, you do see that the shops are permanently closed. Like there's nothing in them. There's a couple mannequins with knitted
Right.
stuff, and then
I want to look at those tomorrow.
and you head to the tavern. You all get rooms. Do you all get rooms individually?
How many rooms are
no.
available?
Enough for you guys to each have a room alone.
Granny, do you want to like bunk up together tonight?
I'm happy to share a room with anyone. I do snore, so it is something to keep in mind.
That's like totally fine. I'm totally used to it.
Okay, then
I
sure.
actually kind of find it comforting.
Let's see if you feel that way by the morning.
All right.
But I appreciate someone watching over me because I don't wake up apparently after the last time.
Your rooms all equal out to about 50 silver, and then that's where we're gonna end it. And we'll see you guys next episode.
Next one.
I have a thing. I have a thing.
What's your thing?
I have a thing.
What's the
Last minute
thing?
I have a thing before as we're going to bed.
Okay. Well, you haven't gone to
something
bed
that-
yet. You just
Oh,
bought rooms.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
but before we go to bed, I have something that I need to do before we go to bed. Because I'm gonna get my own room.
Okay.
As I get my own room, I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna shut the door. Are there windows in the room?
Yeah.
Just like one that looks like outside.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to. You'll kind of see me create that same like little purple mote of flame. That I did, but I'm going to kind of pull it into like a thread. So it's like kind of like a crackling thread. It looks like a thread of fire, basically. And I'm going to trace in like a large kind of like squiggly line all around the room, from like the corner of the room past the door, around the walls. And when I get to the window, I'm going to make a big X and then continue to do it around the room as I cast alarm before I go to bed.
Good. We like that. I like the imagery. Okay.
That's it. Thank you. I'm sorry.
You're welcome. Don't be sorry. That was fantastic. We love this. And we'll see you and the rest of the people who are going to sleep soon in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.